to the sound. To the sound. To the sound.
All right, welcome to Without a Crystal Ball Victims Hotline, where you get to call in normally and talk about what Katie Joy has done to you. Unfortunately tonight, well, actually I should say, you know what? Fortunately tonight, it's going to be a little bit different. It is episode tonight where I and a few other people, which I'll be introducing here shortly, we did have to change up our format a little bit, so excuse me for being a little late. I had to change a few things. We are going to be using Google Meets rather than StreamYards to have a little get together. But what we're going to be doing tonight is basically we're going to be going over some history of Katie Joy Paulson, a very problematic YouTuber that has been involved in numerous lawsuits, especially dealing with celebrity people, people that have some kind of notable qualities to their name that she will go after and attack so she can actually get content for her channel. Many of us have been victims of her. We're going to be discussing a little bit of her history. And we're going to be doing that because a new lawsuit is out, or soon to be at least out, from a gentleman by the name of Deon, I'm going to pronounce it right this time, Deon Derrico? Because I pronounced Derrico, is that correct? Keeping up the Derricos? Yeah. Okay. I want to make sure because I mispronounced it the other night because I didn't watch the show and I felt really bad. I don't like people, mispronouncing people's names. But Deon has sent the Katie Joy a cease and desist. But unfortunately, I don't think he actually knows exactly what he's up against. And I don't mean that to be to be pejorative in any way. But he's dealing with somebody who's what I consider to be the incarnation of evil. And so I thought instead of just putting it out on Twitter and putting it out on Facebook and just talking about that way, we can kind of get together and kind of give go over what we think he might need to know in order to prevail in this lawsuit and actually make it through with less harassment and hassle, because we know Katie Joy's playbook. We know that he was going to be subjugated to insults, pejoratives. He's going to be subjected to her going after his family, his friends. This is what she does. So anyways, I thought, like I said, we would kind of give him a little bit of helpful tips. He could take them or leave them. But from what we've been through, I think our experience would be invaluable to him, and we wish him the very best in his legal proceedings. Anyways, I do have a content creator in here. By the way, her name is Nikki. If you all know Nikki, of course you do. You know Nikki. Hi, Nikki.
Hey, guys. Hi, guys.
Nikki, introduce yourself to our...
I am. Is it not working?
Yes. But you tell them what you do.
What do I do? Well, I run a channel and it is called Supernatural Crime with Nikki. So basically, I cover true crime and the paranormal, but lately it's been more all about Katie Joy. So I also cover her and her antics, as well as people that are affected by her. Literally, I'm making videos every day. They may not be very long, but I've got content for days because of all the crap that this woman does.
I like the fact your videos are generally shorter. I have a low attention span, so I mean, it's hard for me to watch 2-3 hour videos. I do so when I watch Erin and some of the other others. But anyways, and those who don't know me, my name's Steve McRae. I was the host of the Non Sequitur Show, which I still do occasionally. I unfortunately am partly responsible for the juggernaut that is Katie Joy Paulson, because it was my show that kind of found her from obscurity. Yes. I know, I take the blame. I get it. I do. I mean, I'll never live that one down.
You didn't know, though. Listen, you didn't know.
But I didn't know. But at the same token, could you tell when you guys watched the show that I just was not a fan of hers? I never really got along with the woman very well. My partner had found her as a mommy blogger. And this is something that Deon, may want to know about her history. Katie Joy Paulson started as a mommy blogger, and she started as a blogger, not for her son, but for herself, in order to tell people how having a medically fragile child or a special needs child affected her. It wasn't anything about her child. It was all about her. And in that process, she got a lot of attention, and she became this narcissistic beast that just wanted people to praise her for what a wonderful mother she is and what a wonderful person she is. And I think that was the catalyst for her YouTube channel, because as you people know, it was my producer Bulldonator that helped her start her channel. He showed her how to stream, and she has been using her social media to feed that narcissistic supply ever since. That's my hot take, but that seems to be that definitely seems to be her modus operandi from day one, from the mommy blogger on.
I'm in agreement.
On the Mighty was the name of that source. She also was a blogger for Pathos. We are friends with another Pathos writer by the name of Suzanne Tridmaker.
She's in here too.
Oh, she is in the live chat. Deon should absolutely talk to her, because Katie Joy stole a lot of her material straight up from Suzanne. She basically took her story and made it her own, which is something she tends to do. But anyways, if you guys want to join, please let me know. I'll get you the link directly, because it is a Google Hangout, so I can't not put it in the live chat. But we want to talk about what we think Deon should know. So I have a few things that I want let him to know. But Nick, I'm going to let you start off what you think. If you had to give him some advice on this legal proceedings, what would you have him know?
Honestly, I would have Deon contact 7M's lawyers. I would honestly bring them in, because, they're not only suing her, there's also Miranda and her husband.
James.
Are you talking?
No.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, James, sorry. It looks like I think I'm behind. I see your mouth moving, no words coming out. I'm sorry, my bad.
I just go like this.
Hey, Teresa.
I'll just confuse you.
Yeah,
There's a delay.
That's what I would do.
No, I hear myself.
I think that would be a good idea.
I hear myself in the background on your. Do you have the video on?
Yeah, my mouth's doing it too.
But anyways, continue. So Miranda, James, and by the way, their lawyer's name's Amber. She's very nice. I have talked to Amber before, because I was going to try to help out, 7M and their lawsuit as well. But yeah, I would be surprised that if he doesn't reach out to 7M's lawyer, and also to Todd Chrisley's former lawyers. And I have all their information. I don't remember who they are. I've talked to them many times too.
Yes, he should be. I think the best thing he should do, honestly, is to keep in contact with you, get all of that information, and definitely speak to these lawyers, because they have information that he may not have. And this is not her first rodeo.
No.
This is if he sues, this is her 6th lawsuit.
Yeah, and that's pretty telling when it's all it's all about the same things. They're all defamation. It's all slander. Right. It's all libel. See, my advice to him, actually, I think is a little bit more. Ooh, I do hear myself, and I don't know if it's on mine and yours. It's yours. Yeah, it's yours. Do you hear that echo?
Man, I got everything.
It's okay.
Of course there is.
But my advice is a little more tangible. As we know, every time there's a lawsuit involving Katie Joy Paulson sends her flying monkeys out to involve themselves in these cases. She works on the DARVO, which is called abuse by proxy method, to basically target somebody, start slandering their character, riles up a group of people that makes them believe that these things are the truth, and then sends those people to go harass them. This is what she's did to me. This is what she's done to Erin. This is what she's done to Tina. This is what she's done to numerous content creators.
A lot, very much a lot.
There's been a lot of
even
people,
just random normal people in the comment section. Like, she's relentless. If you like a comment that she does not like, she will block you just for that. Like, this girl is unbelievable.
Correct. The people that got involved in the lawsuits, they got involved in my lawsuit. They were the ones out there doing her dirty work, because Katie Joy tends to not get her hands dirty. Will she if she needs to? Yes. But she has other people that will do her dirty work for her. And Deon needs to be aware there is a unholy trinity, an axis of evil, so to speak. And that is Katie Joy, Unirock, and Nonsense on the Web 2.0. These 3 people will go out of their way to lie and slander people and do each other's dirty works for each other. This is long since been well established. I know for a fact that Katie Joy would be paying Unirock to slander people. He is also being sued, if Deon doesn't know. And I would avoid looking at him too much, just because you really don't want to have anything to do with this dude. But his name's Unirock. He is being sued by another person by the name of Jonathan Lee Richards. You can look up on Wikipedia for slander. So this is something that they all seem to have in common. They lie and grift in order to support their channels, and this includes making stuff up. And so, Unirock made 700 videos about me. 700 videos did he make about me.
700?
700 videos is what I've been told, and I think that's
Holy
about right.
crap.
Yeah. People counted, and I know during that whole thing, people may know my social media. I put like alleged, sex cult leader, on my Twitter and things of that nature. That's all because he was accusing me of being a sex cult leader. He was accusing me of murdering my producer. He was accusing me of everything that Katie Joy was doing about committing fraud and all these other things, because he was her mouthpiece, because she was prohibited from saying anything about me for about a year because we had a mutual NDA in place that we couldn't disparage each other, which was completely fine with me. I had no desire to disparage her. I just want to get the facts out. And so I could talk about her all as much as I want. I just couldn't disparage her. I was cool with that. She, unfortunately, she likes to disparage people. I mean, that's kind of her thing. But I got to admit, she really didn't say much about me during that year. And she had other people do it for her. She had other people slander me for about a year. And that's when I, began my court legal proceedings through Pocket Service to try to sue her for defamation. But anyways, that's one thing. That's one of my pieces of advice to him. Be careful who you trust and who you listen to. My advice is don't trust anybody. That includes me. That includes Nikki. No offense. It includes nobody completely. Vet everything.
Yeah.
Everything you find, you vet and triple vet. And anything you send to the attorneys, make sure that you triple and quadruple vet, because you will have people sending you misinformation, hoping you run with it to try to get it into the court case so she can come back and say, oh, look, Deon is wrong about this. Because Deon also said on Twitter that he wasn't going to say much about the case, and that's the smartest move you can make, because what does Katie do if people talk about the case?
She'll run with it.
And it makes it much more difficult. So look what Todd Chrisley, remember when he was doing his podcast?
Oh, that was horrible. Even when he was sent to prison, she still had to have her mouth in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of my mods, April, says there's 14,000 hours of footage about me.
Oh my God.
14,000. That's a lot of hours. Look, I'm not that interesting to be 14,000 hours. For those who don't know, because Deon knows nothing about me. I do loss prevention for retail, but my background was in nuclear reactor operations with the Navy. I mostly run a channel that talks about science and philosophy. I do a blog on the Great Debate Community. Blog is www.greatdebatecommunity.com. It's on epistemology and philosophy. I am not somebody who really cares about reality TV. I don't get into the drama. I don't get into almost any of that stuff. But unfortunately, my name keeps being dragged in because I teach people how to do critical thinking. And unfortunately, the best way to learn about critical thinking is look at examples. And Katie Joy and her sycophants are the quintessential non-critical thinkers that I've ever seen in my entire life.
I have to agree with that one. There's also a lot of her fans that don't realize that she's a different person on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and Twitter. I've had people come to me and say, I only watch her on YouTube. They don't know her drunken lives on IG or Facebook. They don't have any idea. So I feel like the more we say it, she's got more than one platform. If you look at her platforms, she's a different person. The real KJ is when she sits there, gets drunk on her Instagram lives. She is a monster. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and she's strategic how she leverages her social media. Because she'll say things on Instagram that if she would say on YouTube would violate terms of service, and she's well aware of this. Exactly. I will definitely say that Katie Joy is one of the dumbest people I ever met, but when it comes to manipulation, she's Einstein. She is extremely good at manipulating the system and manipulating people. And this is because I believe as a sociopath, she has learned how to survive. And in order to survive, she has learned how to manipulate, because when people see her true face, they know they're dealing with somebody who's not honest. And so when like you said, she'll go on to the Instagram and she'll do these drunken rants, and that's a gold mine. And Deon, people sending you stuff of her rants on Twitter and Instagram, that is gold for your lawsuit. Absolute gold.
It is.
And she will do it. It's a matter of time. She cannot help herself. Even if we tell her that she's going to do it, she'll still do it. She has no willpower not to. She can't stop. It's just bizarre.
No, she can't. She thinks that this is her problem. She's so narcissistic and believes that she is above the law. She will never stop. Never until she's made to stop. I'm telling you, she is a dangerous person.
And
Very
that
dangerous.
and that's why I have a really kind of vested interest in this, because obviously 7M's lawsuit I think is strong. My lawyers have said that,
I do too.
they have a strong case, and that's there was after they got done with, who knows what there's going to be left, and of course, Deon has that same worry. What is going to be left? Now I will tell him, and I do have the documents for this, and if he asks for them, I'll be happy to send them to him. I'll even show him publicly. I don't really care at this point. But remember, I have said that we were going into discovery, and people are like, "Oh, how could you go to discovery in pocket service?" Well, you can. We were doing what's called initial disclosures, and in my initial disclosures, I had put who I would want as witnesses and things of that nature. Initial conditions for what would be later on to use as evidence that she slandered me. And her lawyer, my lawyers had said that Katie Joy doesn't have any insurance as far as limited liability, corporate insurance against slander. They believe that the house is in her name, not her father's name. There is some assets to be had there. She just purchased, I believe, a $70,000+ vehicle. And so yes, there is money to be had there. The problem is that if 7M's case gets adjudicated prior, then there may not be left but crumbs for him. But here's my advice, and then let me get what you think on it. He's not going to get rich by suing Katie Joy. That shouldn't be what his goal should be. He had said that he believes that Katie Joy should be stopped, in his words, on a cease and desist, and he's absolutely right. If he can get compensation for his monetary investment, as far as like legal fees and maybe some more, maybe $100,000 or something like that, and able to remove all her social media, that would be the biggest accomplishment that he could ever get in history about this woman, in my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I was going to say that because after 7M, they've got, I think they got a solid case. And I really do think that they're going to mop the floor with her. And then again, like whatever's left, I do believe that Deon should absolutely go for her channel.
Yes. And I'm going to talk about that in a sec. So in a sec, Autistic Shell said, who's been a member for 10 months. Thank you, Autistic Shell. She said, I told Erin you stole 3 of her mods and asked her to join. Yeah, I guess Erin decided to stream at the same time as me. Something she generally doesn't do.
She said something about a bunny.
Yeah, about a bunny. Oh, what it is. But anyways, and by the way, we should let Deon know, I'm just going to throw all the names out there, and you can say if you agree or not. If he really wants people that have been vetted in the community that I think are absolutely try to be their best at being objective and honest, ECKPeopleSuck, which is Erin. Obviously, Nikki here, which is Supernatural Crimes with Nikki. Is that what you call it nowadays?
Yeah.
Okay. Suzanne,
it's better suited my channel, I think, because I'm kind of all over the place.
You have some variety. Suzanne Trademaker, Nene, and Renelle Smith.
Yeah, Nene Marie. There's also Country Girl Brenda.
Which I don't
Renelle
know.
Smith.
I don't know Country Girl Brenda very well, but she's always been cool. So I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah, she's got good content, and she's she's not biased or anything. I like her. She's
obviously
really
Renelle Smith.
Yep.
And
there's Crystal Bell. She's a hoot.
Crystal Bell and Allie Truth Sooth. She's good.
Yes.
So those
she's a good one too.
Those are the ones I would, and LEB, if people want, because LEB was involved with Katie Joy as well.
Yeah.
So
actually, all of these channels except me have been involved with her.
Yeah, you didn't really have any like personal anonymity.
You want to know why? I think she hasn't come for me because I'm Canadian. She can't come for me.
Maybe.
Well,
she did file 3 TROs against people in the United States who were talking out about her in order to try to silence them. So maybe.
I don't know. I think she's scared too because with our Canadian laws, she'd be screwed.
Did you cut out?
Our laws are different. We take like internet bullying, internet crimes, and all that stuff differently, and there's big charges for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree. Somebody also in the says, Deon, she will go after your family, dig everything up on everyone, your finances, personal, criminal, and she will go after them too. Look what she did to Letitia Bias. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's, this is relatively recent, but Indigo, you're absolutely correct. And this is what I'm trying to tell Deon. This is what I told Todd Chrisley too. We all know Todd Chrisley had a lot of bravado. I never watched the show was it Chrisley Knows Best. I never watched the show.
I can't remember what the hell it's called now.
Chrisley Knows Best. I never really watched
it.
I never bothered to watch the show, but I mean, Todd was always cool with me. But had a lot of bravado. I mean, you could hear it in his podcast, right? He was like, I'm invincible, I'm untouchable, I'm going to go after Katie Joy. And he ends up going to prison for 12 years. Katie Joy still did not back down. Katie Joy would find everything she could on his family. She would contact friends, family, neighbors. There's no limit to this woman's depravity. And so I wanted Deon to recognize the fact that he's walking into a minefield with this woman.
Yeah. Like, she will dig into everything. I'm talking bank statements, your financials, how much you bought your house for, everything, how many brothers and sisters you have, anything you've done in the past, your whole family, whatever they've done in the past. She will dig up anything she can and blast it.
Yep.
That's some sick shit.
Yep. And also another good piece of advice. You have anything that anybody ever sends Katie Joy will release publicly if she needs to, if it benefits her.
Yes.
Without question. Now, I have a standing policy, as people know, and even my detractors, even people that hate me. Yes, believe it or not, there are a lot of people that hate me. I get it. But even they will tell you I do not release private information. The only time I ever have is obviously my lawsuit with Katie Joy and my lawsuit with Kyle. Those are about the only two times I've ever had to release private DMs. Other than that, even my worst enemies, I do not release their DMs. Katie Joy's not like that. She uses DMs to gain information about people. And she also, Deon might be aware of, she runs raffles. What she'll do is she'll say, I have a giveaway. Send me your email. Send me your information or where to send it. Now she has your email, your address, your telephone number. She can look up a lot with that stuff, and she does just that.
Yeah.
That's evil.
Yes, it's very evil.
She also has had numerous fraudulent GoFundMes. This is one of the things she was trying to sue me for. Do you remember back when? I know you do. Do you remember when she tried to do a fundraiser for Ronald McDonald's charity house charities?
I'm telling you, that one will forever piss me the F off, because I know it's fraudulent. We all know it's fraudulent. You do not
100%.
send money to someone's fucking PayPal when it's supposed to go to the company. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, there's actually two things. But by the way, autistic, I don't mind you putting EKC's Patreon. I know it's an accident, but I don't mind. I support EKC as well. She has all her like script stuff for mods. she's like putting stuff, to promote. She's like, your mod, EKC's mod. She's like, let's just do that. No, it doesn't bother me. She knows that. Of course, I support EKC. So that
I'm the same way. I support everyone. Share whatever you want on my channel.
None of this is about the money. This is about getting the information out.
Exactly.
So the two things on that particular situation: one, Ronald McDonald's House Charities needs to approve any fundraising for them. Two, as you pointed out, say it again for the people in the back, where the money went.
Well, for one, you don't send Katie Joy money to her personal PayPal. It's supposed to actually go to Ronald McDonald House.
That's where it went to.
That is fraud.
This is established. This is not, conjecture. She admitted it went to her PayPal, and then she changed it later on. We have no idea what the receipts are. She's never shown any receipts for anything.
She will not show receipts.
Nope. And I'm pretty sure she probably wanted it as a tax write-off. I think she was going to give the money to the. I know she's pretty loathsome, but I think she probably was going to give a portion of the money to the charity, and then show a receipt saying, "Oh, look, I gave $1,000 to the charity," right? Which, by the way, would have been keep the rest, and then write it off as a tax write-off, which is scummy. It's absolutely scummy.
It is.
But that exactly happened. And she sued. She tried to sue me in a hip pocket service for stating that.
I know.
But
it's all out there.
Oh yeah. Oh, I had a positive defense for everything.
It's not a lie.
I have never slandered her. Matter of fact, I am probably the most fastidious when it comes to making sure what I say about her is true, or at least stated as opinion. Like, I cannot prove she's a narcissist because she's never been psychologically evaluated for it. But every single solitary box of narcissism, malignant narcissism, she checks off. So it's my opinion on that. That's, you can't sue for that.
Like, we're allowed to have opinions on that. Absolutely. And none of us will ever say anything that is non-factual, because we know how she is. She will come for us. We're not dumb.
Yeah. Oh, and worse than that,
no.
She will use what you say.
Receipts.
Yeah. If you say something about her that's not factual, she will use it over and over and over again.
Ugh.
And even when you admit that you made a mistake, she'll still use it. even when you tell the truth, obviously, she'll find a way to manipulate that and say it's wrong.
Absolutely.
And I was gonna show some documents tonight, but maybe I'm just gonna allow people to talk and come in if they want to, because I've been over many of the documents and they are so vetted that I'm just gonna put them out as truth. And if somebody wants to question that, that's fine. But you guys will call me out if you guys hear me something that's not true. But it is true that Katie Joy did try to silence 3 people with TROs, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Those were myself, Tina, and Little Miss Noble. In that fraudulent affidavit that she had submitted for that TRO, she falsely accused me of, one, sexually harassing her. She accused me of sending her text mails and emails, which I never sent. I've never sent her a single text message on her phone. I've never sent her a single email in my life. She also had said that during the counter complaint for my lawsuit to her, she said that I lived in her state. These are things that Deon's going to have to be aware of, that she will absolutely lie. I mean, she lied to the court.
Oh, yeah, she will.
I never have lived in Minnesota, but she had put in her complaint against me that I was a resident of Elk River, Minnesota, a place that I didn't know it existed.
I remember that. You showed me all that. And remember how much I just couldn't believe it. I laughed. And that's why I'm laughing now. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, but a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people didn't believe anything, until I actually showed evidence, and I get that. There are clip channels out there that have a policy receipts or it didn't happen, and I understand that. I don't follow that as much publicly. I don't think a lot of things should be disclosed. Privately, it's a little bit different story, and I always showed you all the receipts, as well as many of my audience. They know I was always telling the truth. There's not even a doubt about it. So I respect that. But I didn't make a lot of things public because, one, it was none of their business. And this is one thing I want to tell Deon. Don't get suckered in to thinking you have to put anything public. Don't. Just don't. It's none of anybody else's business. I mean, because
that I think will get him in the end. Don't do that. Keep everything private. Everything.
The cease and desist is public. That's fine. The things that you filed in court, those are public. That's fine. But everything else, keep very close to your vest. I can't emphasize that enough, because any little thing she finds you saying, she will try to make hay of. And unfortunately, she did that with Todd Chrisley. Every time he would talk about her on his podcast, which he's able to do. I didn't have a problem with that per se. But how many times did she come back and file something else in the lawsuit or change this or manipulate what he said?
She did. It was disgusting.
Suzanne says, she told me about dozen different stories about Steve. The worst was that he supposedly flashed his wang at her. Yeah.
Okay, I never knew that. That is wow.
Yeah. It's weird.
She's some sick. Wow.
It's weird.
Wow.
And again, I was going to show all this, but it's really not necessary. But I was going to show that the initial thing that she had said was during a live stream on June 15th, 2019, on a stream on the Non Sequitur show, where she said, I know what Kyle's talking about. Steve said inappropriate things to me. That's literally what she said. And that morphed into, Steve sexually harassed me. Steve started talking about this and that, or Steve showed me this. Every iteration was different, because at the time, Kyle had stole my channel and also stole $60,000 of the fans' money, which I've never recouped. I'm still in progress of trying to recoup. I've sent legal papers. I have more legal papers involved. But she was trying to help him get away with that, I believe. Whether by intentional or unintentional, doesn't matter. She ran with the narrative that he was running, that somehow I was committing fraud, and that's when of course that's why I sued her. So,
like Zuna said, she says, I can't believe she asked for medical records. That's another thing. Be careful of that as well, Deon. Like, she literally asked 7M, all the people involved in that lawsuit. She wanted Robert Shin's medical records. You don't just get that stuff.
Yeah, I don't even get how. Why would she think she'd be entitled to that information?
Entitled to that.
She asked me the same question again. I have all her tweets. Who pays your medical records, Steve? Why is that your business? Oh, Steve's committing medical fraud. Yeah. Really? Let me put it out there to
I remember that. Yeah.
I have VA. I'm a veteran. I spent 3 tours in the Gulf War. Okay, I don't have to pay a dime for medical. I had a secondary insurance at the time, but that doesn't matter.
You have a job.
I have a full-time job now, but I didn't. What wasn't at the time? But it's irrelevant. It was none of her business.
No, it wasn't.
But
And
she
that's what she would do. She'd latch onto something and she would make a mockery of it. And it would be one simple lie and it would explode it. And people would believe her. It was just like, people wake up. That's what I want to do, is just shake people.
Well, let me ask you, why do you think, what is it about her that you think that they believe, why they believe her? I mean, there are still people to this day who think that, okay, so when I had gotten a TRO from her, which is a temporary restraining order, and I'm going to die on this hill. TRO is not an RO. They're not the same thing in Minnesota. A TRO and a RO are different things legally. When I got the TRO, which is a preliminary injunction, not a post judicial injunction, but a preliminary, I fought back. I was like, I'm not going to sit around and take this. You're out of your mind. I did get a lawyer, and we wanted a hearing. I wanted to go in front of a judge and say, this woman is literally insane. She's claiming that she has emails from me of harassment, which I've never sent her an email ever of any kind.
Crazy.
Even when she was doing the show, I didn't communicate to her with email. So I know that was a complete lie, right? And so, I wanted my day in court, right?
Yeah.
I forgot. Where was I going with that? Something in the live chat distracted me. Yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. I do remember, though. I wanted to get my day in court, and she dismissed it because she didn't want that going in front of a judge. Her lawyer didn't want that going in front of the judge, and she had told people.
She's lying.
Yeah, she had told people that I begged people to drop it, and I capitulated her. No, she came to us and she wanted all these conditions, and I told my lawyer, oh hell no, I have this in writing with my lawyer. It's actually on my blog. I put all the messages out from my lawyer on my blog saying, no, I'm not going to give her this, because she wanted me to never be able to speak about her ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, that didn't happen. So she's like, well, how about for a year? I'm like, oh no, that didn't happen either. And I said, no, I told him, there is no chance in hell I'm going to sign anything that's saying that I can't speak about her. Will I sign something that it won't be disparaging? Yes. Oh, I know where I was going with this. The NDA. My advice to Deon, no matter what happens, do not sign an NDA with this woman. Do not.
No, don't sign nothing.
Do not.
No.
Don't. If you decide to do settle, which is your choice, yes, you will get screwed by an NDA. I guarantee it. I don't regret it because I listened to my legal advice, because I was planning to sue her later on because she was going to sue me. So I was like, okay, this is going to, it's the easiest way to get around all this stuff. Just, have an NDA, fine, whatever. But I did tell people that the NDA doesn't have in it what they think it has in it. Because remember how Unirock and her Flying Monkeys were saying that Steve can't talk about Katie Joy. Then I was like, sure I can. Then why don't you do it? Because I'm choosing not to. And then I showed the NDA and they're like, oh crap, Steve was right. He could talk about her. Did I get a single apology for any of that?
No. You never got one apology for any of this shit.
Not one. Not one. I don't think I can recall anybody who said, damn, Steve, I did not realize how manipulative Katie Joy was, and that, she's lying the entire time. I remember the other thing. Remember she said that the judge had looked at so much evidence that they filed it under the Violence Against Women's Act. First of all, anybody knows anything about law, they know that the judge doesn't look at anything until a hearing.
Yeah.
The judge only looks at the preliminary, the initial paperwork, which is basically your affidavit. What did this person do, and that's it. There's no evidence provided. It's just written what you think what happened. And the Violence Against Women's Act had actually expired. My lawyer said that this was absolutely ridiculous. That never happened. And so there are still people to this day that says, Steve's harassment was so great that the judge filed it under Violence Against Women's Act. Now I ask everybody, go look up Violence Against Women's Act. That only even applied if you were a domestic partner or a family member with somebody. There is no possible way anything could be under Violence Against Women's Act if you've never met the person. Not possible. But yet people still believed it. And some people still believe it. There's people there's some idiot that has a blog on it that still assassinates my character by saying that, I was put under Violence Against Women's Act and I'm a harasser. So my question to you is, why do you think people believe that with Katie Joy?
I honestly think they believe it because most of the people watch her on YouTube, and she's very safe on YouTube. Whereas, like I said, if you watch her on Facebook or on Instagram, that's where she screws up. That, like, what journalist slash reporter wannabe sits there and gets drunk on lives, shoots her mouth off, and it says the most disgusting, foul things. That's when people turn against her. But when you watch her on YouTube, oh no, she's clean as a whistle.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
she does not want to violate YouTube terms of service, and that's again
No, 'cause
another
that's her
thing.
main source of income.
That's what Deon needs to
So
go
she's
after.
not going to screw that up.
Deon needs to go out, and I no, you look. I am the antithesis of cancel culture, but in this particular case, when somebody is so harmful and so egregious that
Yeah,
canceling them would be a benefit to society, that is something that is okay with me.
absolutely.
Matter of fact, do you remember? She actually lied to the court and said that I said that she was an existential threat on humanity. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah.
Which, by the way, she said extensional, but that she meant it.
She's an idiot.
Yeah, she meant existential, but she doesn't know the difference. But anyways,
No.
but I never said that. What I said was she was an existential threat on content creators because she would falsely DMCA people and false strike people, and then she claimed that she never false strike me. She never filed a DMCA against me. I have literally from YouTube, should be DMCAs from her.
It's the thing. She can sit there and lie about that shit, but when you got receipts of stuff that she's done and you show it, she still fucking lies about it.
In
She'll
fact,
still sit there and say, no, 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 he tankered with that. No, he fucked with that. No, that's not true.
but that's what a narcissist does. A narcissist,
Ugh.
if you notice, Kyle was a narcissist. My form for
Oh
Dion,
yeah,
who
he was
may
an
not know.
awful one too.
Dion may not know, but Dion, Kyle and Katie Joy got along really well. Both of them were blatant narcissists.
Yeah.
But Kyle lied in my court case. I mean, blatantly lied. He was found liable for criminal and civil contempt because he lied, and we discovered he actually manipulated the books. He changed the financial records. This is fact and evidence. This is long established. And so narcissists will lie under oath. This is nothing that Dion needs to be aware of. Do not think for a second Katie Joy is going to be honest. She will not. She will lie to the court just to make it harder for everybody else. She doesn't think anything goes to trial because every single time it has not gone to trial. So she doesn't have to be accountable for lying the entire time.
Yes.
She'll
And that's
throw anything
exactly
out
the
there.
problem. She thinks she's above the law and she believes that she's untouchable. She's
Yep.
been in what? 4 lawsuits, all been dismissed or settled, or settled at least, right? Because she's throwing people under the bus and whatnot. There's one right now with 7M. 7M ain't messing around.
No.
They're not going to settle. They're pissed. All
No, I
those
don't think they're gonna
people
settle.
in
They're
that
not gonna
company
settle.
are pissed. They
Nope.
will never settle. And then you got Deon. Now, if he decides to go through with a lawsuit, I'm telling you right now, guy, she will absolutely try and get it dismissed. Her first order of whatever.
Well, I will tell you, I will say that that's normal. In any lawsuit, you can get a dismissal off the bat, go for it. Okay, because in order for the lawsuit to go further, to be adjudicated, it has to have merit. And so if you sue somebody that doesn't have merit, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm not giving legal advice. Again, if you want legal advice, go to Emily D. Baker. But I've been enough around the law stuff and I did take a little bit of law in college, so I'm not completely inept. But here's the thing: if you have a case where you sue somebody which is non-meritorious, you have no grounds to sue. Like if I said, hey, I'm going to sue Nikki because she looked at me wrong. There's no grounds to sue. So even if that was the case, there's nothing to be made whole of. There's nothing to get from that. So they're just dismiss it because you didn't do anything wrong on its face value. So he has to show that she has slandered him. Even if everything he says is true, then that summary judgment or that dismissal she'll put in for gets denied because the judge will say, well, no, there's some things in here. If it is true, he has a right to pursue legal action. But if he puts in there, Katie Joy said I'm a mean person, yeah, sure, that would be dismissed. So yeah, I don't have a problem with them trying to dismiss a case, early. But I think if just by reading what she said alone, he has a good case. The thing is,
he does. I'm reading that cease and desist.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Like wow.
And can I recommend, as content creators, we do not discuss the things she has said about Deon because they're so vile and so reprehensible. I just don't think it needs to be because all it does is just put that misinformation out there more. I just personally won't. I just don't think it's not necessary. They seem like a very lovely couple. I watched a little bit of their clips. The family seems very, very gregarious and happy. And this is something that Katie Joy cannot stand. If you notice, she has a tendency to go after people that seem happy, Christian families, large
Pretty
families.
much everyone on TLC.
Yeah. EKC asked me if there was racial overtones the other day, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe because I do think she has racism. I do. But in this particular case.
Yeah, like look at Letitia, and then there's more,
Yeah. Oh, that's another story. I'm gonna let
I was
you.
thinking that too.
I'm gonna let you just tell Deon about the recent things where Katie Joy was slighted by Letitia Bass when her son was put in a coma because they went to Katie, and Katie basically got slighted, and so she waged a war against this poor woman for about a year.
Oh my God.
She put her in the hospital. I mean, literally, she suffered stress from Bell's palsy. This I'm gonna let you tell that story. Why I'm gonna be showing stuff in the background here because I'm like, you know what? Here's some. Oh wait, cannot share your screen. An error occurred. What?
Oh, nice.
Well, whatever. Go. I'll figure it out while you tell people about Letitia Bass.
Yeah, with Letitia Bias, like anybody in the comment section, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Molly, I believe, was the first creator. Molly Golightly was the first creator, and Justin were the first two creators, I believe, that were speaking with Letitia. And her son was in a coma. He tried to unalive himself with a rope. He ended up, I guess, surviving, but he was on a ventilator and everything else. Like, it wasn't looking good at all. And what happened was KJ put her mouth in it and realized, well, this is a hot story. I can make money off this. She's a trauma vulture. So basically what she did is she contacted Letitia and contacted Letitia's ex-husband. And basically Letitia didn't want to talk to KJ anymore. She didn't want nothing to do with her anymore. She realized KJ was lying and this, that, and everything. So she just stuck with Molly. And the next thing you know, well, KJ went after Letitia to the point for a year that she was saying that Letitia was committing fraud. The whole family was committing fraud. Don't donate. And if you did donate, get your money back. I got my money back. She put this woman through fucking hell to the point where she ended up in the hospital twice. She had Bell's palsy, which is where I think it's like you're happy. The side of your face, your eye especially.
It's a neurological. Yeah. It's a temporary neurological condition. Yeah.
Can you imagine? And the whole reason why Letitia ended up having a GoFundMe was so she could see her son that was in a coma.
Yeah,
I mean,
Katie Joy couldn't have that.
Up,
she couldn't have that.
No.
She waged a war to get people to actually ask for money back from that GoFundMe that wasn't even donated.
Yeah, she gave money back that wasn't even donated.
The Cash App. Yeah. She technically from the Cash App. Yeah, it's
and then
disgusting.
She had Uni in on it as well. He didn't help the both of them.
Well, Uni revitalized his channel a little bit by again he stopped talking about me because after 700 videos, I guess he got bored, and he decided to go after Molly Golightly, who I've never talked to. I you know what? Honestly, I don't think I've ever talked to Justin. He's been in my live chat, but I don't think I've talked to Justin on panel. He seems pretty cool. I have no issue with Justin.
I like him. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've never talked to Molly Golightly. I would. I have no issue. I'm not a big fan of her content, but I mean, personally, I'm not. If you compare Molly Golightly to Katie Joy, I mean, that's just come on. Katie Joy is 1 billion times worse. But so they, Unirock was basically Katie Joy's pit bull to go after Molly Golightly, and Molly Golightly lost her channel. I mean, 80,000 subs, making thousands of dollars a month, lost her channel because they targeted her.
Yep.
And it was targeted. It absolutely was targeted.
Well, it was.
Here's a couple things. I wanted to. I wasn't going to show some stuff, but I was like, man, you know what? Maybe I will. Can you read that?
Yes, I can. About the NDA.
Yeah, go ahead and read that because this is what Deon's going to be looking forward to. Deon, you're going to be called narcissist. You're going to be called all kinds of pejorative names. Narcissist is her favorite because she didn't know what a malignant narcissist was until I told her. She got that from me. She had no idea these terms. She's not well educated, and so she decided to project that. One of the things narcissists do is project onto others their insecurities because a lot of narcissists are insecure and they want that narcissistic supply to make them feel better about themselves. And again, I'm not a psychologist, but again, been around this stuff. I do Caffeine Corner where we talk about these particular topics. So read what this says here, because this is hilarious.
Yeah. So it says, LOL, the NDA wasn't protect my image, you idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Also, we didn't discuss it because
Dismiss it.
Judge wouldn't extend it. Keep lying. No one knows more about manipulation than you. Tell them how your lawyer fired you for being such a jackwagon and a narcissist. Or sort.
This doesn't work
And
that way.
narcissistic.
It doesn't work that way. Lawyers don't fire you. They can withdraw, like Kyle's lawyer withdrew. You know, Unirock helped get Kyle a lawyer by a fraudulent GoFundMe. The lawyer realized Kyle was lying and withdrew from the case, citing rule, 1.164B or whatever it is. That's what they do. They withdraw from the case. My lawyers why would they fire me? Well, how would that even work? But you know, I'm like asking my lawyers, like, what does this even mean? They're like, so that never happened. Yeah. She also said this. I know this is going to be a little hard to see, but she said the lawyers were shaking their heads. None of them have ever worked with a narcissist like him. One said, quote, this is a quote, he's the worst malignant narcissist I've ever seen in my career. Here's a fun fact. I never spoke to a single one of her attorneys. Not once. Yeah. Ever. These things were all done through the attorneys. So where was I hanging out with their attorneys where they would even say such a thing?
I'd love to know.
Yeah.
Also like to know too, Steve, is nobody's asking this question. And this is a very good question. And so you went to sue KJ for what all the shit she said, you know, you sexually harassed her and blah, 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 which we know isn't to be true. If this really didn't happen and all this shit she said about you, which we know now not to be true, why the fuck didn't she countersue? Why didn't she go after you?
Well, and that's
I would.
Why
if you said that?
Why would she drop her TRO?
If you did something to me and then tried to say that no, I didn't do that, and you actually did something like that to me, I would never stop. I keep going and going and going. I would
as well as you should have.
But she didn't. She didn't. Why is that?
Not only that,
because she's a fucking liar.
Not only that, in her counter complaint to me, she wanted me to pay for her relocation costs. She says she had to move because of my harassment. That she wanted me to pay for her relocation costs.
Oh my God! Yeah.
She says in her affidavit to the court that she lived in fear of me. I've never been anywhere near this woman. I've never been to her state.
She didn't even know where you lived.
Nope, she didn't even know where I lived. And then she goes after my channel. Like here, she says, anyone still subscribed to the non sequitur should probably get unsubscribed. Because Steve apparently gets it back because I won my lawsuit. And he does deserve a platform with 20K plus subs. It's now 30,000 subs. And I apologize. I did have to postpone the episode today. I will be doing it the next day or so. To use and harass and target people like me. She tried to go after my channel.
Wow. Oh, of course she did. Look at this shit. So Charlotte says, KJ posted 2 times about Deon in the past hour without mentioning his name. After the post, about 7M, so she can claim it's about Robert Shin. And she commented that Deon isn't going to sue her.
Absolutely. Yeah, I saw that.
She needs to be fucking gone.
This is what I'm saying. And I specifically told people this, that Katie Joy is incapable. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Very much so. I really do appreciate it. That Katie Joy is incapable of abiding by cease and desist. She has literally said she laughs at them. She laughs at season. She finds them as a badge of honor. She thinks lawsuits are a badge of honor.
She does. She collects them.
And so she will be these little manipulative type things. She'll put it out there, say she's talking about Robert Shin. We all know she's talking about Deon. She's talking about me. She's talking about Todd Chrisley.
Like even Todd Chrisley. Yeah, when he got sent away, she even said 12 years. It's been 12 years of something about her anniversary, this, that, and everything. You're like, we all know you're talking about Todd Chrisley. Like, fuck off already.
It's passive aggressive. But I will tell Deon this, and I do not want to become main character syndrome. There are so many other people that Katie Joy has harmed, and I'm not the only victim.
There's so many.
I am personal with this. Obviously.
An actual site that has all her victims on it.
The Reddit.
People are still adding to it.
The Reddit. The sub. Yeah. The Reddit group. But I will say this. Even though I have a very strong personal stake in this, and I am biased because I loathe this woman with the bottom of my heart.
Ditto.
I do believe that I am her greatest threat when it comes to information. Not because of what I collect. There are far more people that collect more information than I have. Llama Girl, threat. Without a Crystal Balls, threat. EKC,
Impulse
right?
2.0.
Well, all of them, they are amazing what they do. And so I'm not I'm not detracting from that. But what I mean by saying that I'm a intellectual threat to her is that she will not mention my name. She is scared that anybody who knows of me will find out the truth about her. And this is something that's very notable. She'll talk about a lot of people. She will discuss a lot of people. When's the last time she even mentioned my name?
I haven't heard that in forever, like years.
Yeah, there's and I believe there's a very strong reason for that, because I have the strongest case against her next to, well, 7M obviously does now, but she doesn't want people fighting about me, or you, or Tina, or EKC. And by the way, EKC, do you want in? Let me know. Flying Mom Laura, member for 2 months. Thank you. She's still a curious soul. She says, do you think Graham Cracker will still take the case with Katie Joy, or you have to find a new attorney? I don't know what his workload is. I know that I personally think Graham is incompetent.
I know.
my lawyers were not thrilled with him. Sorry, Graham, for listening, but you're way out of your depths. You're a real estate lawyer, whatever the hell you were. He
was a real estate lawyer.
Yeah,
he had no business what he was doing.
He just was trying to threaten people. But I don't think there's any love lost between them. He has to realize his client is a absolute moron. Who advises their client to go on Instagram lives and defame people more in a defamation suit? Because again,
get drunk.
Katie Joy does not think any of these things will go to be adjudicated through a jury or a judge. So therefore she can say whatever she wants in her opinion, you know?
Oh yeah. And she will, and she'll continue to do that until she's made to stop. The only way to make her stop is to have her channels gone. No more platforms, no more internet. Bye, Katie.
And again, I think that's the only way to stop her if YouTube gets involved, because I know for a fact that NBC Universal, a VP, a vice president from NBC Universal, which is the parent company for Chrisley's show, was in touch with me, and we were compiling videos that Katie Joy had violated TOS, that they were trying to go directly to YouTube and get YouTube to intervene. This is what Deon needs to do. Deon needs to use the power of TLC to show that it's harming the brand, it's harming the show, which again, I haven't watched. I plan to, because it does look cute. And then shut it down that way, because she is clearly violating TOS by slandering people. You cannot do that. You cannot harass people.
That's the thing too, that her if you actually look at all her videos, it's all about TLC. Every single show on there she has come for.
I didn't think about that until recently. A lot of
she's making it so TLC loses viewers because of her big mouth.
TLC, but what was Chris Leno's best on? Was that on TLC? I don't think it was.
Actually, I don't even know.
But
I remember
the Duggars,
I watched it on Prime, so I don't know the original. Yeah, there's the Duggars. There's the Little People Big World.
Little People Big World.
There's the Browns.
Yeah, so, and I don't follow any of that stuff. Fly Mom says,
he would be smart to use TLC because she harms so many of their shows. Exactly.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't know why that the VP was really nice. Like I said, he, myself, and Todd Chrisley were working together to show YouTube, and other people too. It wasn't just me, but to show YouTube, and it's all public now. I mean, this is a year late, 2 years later, that she was violating terms of service, and so people could say, "Oh, Steve's trying to cancel Katie Joy." Absolutely, because I believe that she's a harm. And people say, "Well, what's the difference in that and Molly Golightly?" Let me tell you, Molly Golightly has not frivolously tried to silence people by TROs. Molly Golightly hasn't tried to
dangerous.
Yeah, she hasn't used reprehensible pejoratives towards people to try to stigmatize them. That's Katie Joy. There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like some of the stuff that Molly Golightly has done to be her personage that she is. I get that. Whatever. But that does not compare to the atrocities that Katie Joy has done in covering some stories. We haven't even touched things like the Gabby Petito story that she butchered. We haven't even touched how she would use the death of a child to gain monetary compensation and finances.
And I'll never forget the worst thing she ever did was to explain RAPE fucking child that's 5 years old with those goddamn fingers and that yellow shirt. I will never forget that image.
I only saw that clip, I think, once, and that was all enough for me.
Same. That's all I needed. I'll never forget it.
It's mortifying.
And people sit there and applaud her ass.
The duper's delight grin that she had was somebody that was enjoying that.
Exactly.
And I cannot get that out of my mind.
Smile in delight.
Yep.
At everything to do with CSA. Absolutely.
And I do think that there's something twisted with her with that, because she brings it up an awful lot. This is, well, again, not to get into the details of what she's accused certain people of, but that's a go-to for her. She projects it onto other people.
In my opinion, I think it turns her on.
I think there's some gratification for that as well. I already know she lied about me for sexual harassment, so why would I not believe that she was lied about being raped? You know, there's a whole bunch of questions with that,
Yeah.
and I've came out and said, look, I think she's full of crap. I don't think any of this stuff happened the way she did. She said it did. I don't believe anything she says.
Even the police report didn't find anything to do with rape.
I'm all for victims and stuff, but actual victims. And so, yeah, they want to come after me for that. I don't care. Go for it. What are you going to do? Cancel me? I've been canceled how many times by now?
I don't know. I lost count.
Yeah. EKC, do you want to come in? Let me know.
Look at that shit. I'm looking at that. It's so not okay to go after a kid. My child was abused by Steve. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is another thing that Deon should be aware of. She accused me of...
Oh, yeah. You even so much as mention her kid's cute. She'll come after you and literally say that, oh, I don't know, you tried to RAP him.
It's bizarre.
You're going to kill him or whatever.
Oh, I think there was something along that line too, actually. You said that in jest, but I remember there was something that people thought that somebody was going to attack her kid or something. But yeah, she accused me of, quote, think about this, Deon. My child was abused by Steve. Now...
Like, can you...
Somebody, I've never met her child.
Wow.
I would have recognized her child if he was, standing 6 feet from me. The reason why she said this was because I dared ask a simple question on Twitter. That's just still on there. I don't delete anything. I don't delete any video. I don't delete any tweets unless it has a spelling error and then I correct it. But Nikki, can you testify that I have a complete history of record that I have not deleted? Nothing.
Like a lot. You can write a novel.
So my tweet's still there. And my tweet had said, basically, is... What does Katie Joy Paulson mean by having a medically fragile child? I had people cancel me over that. I had people like unsubscribe and things of that nature merely because I was asking, what does she mean by this? Because what she's talking about is different from what you would read in the literature and how she treats the child. Yeah. And she's using her child for money. She's using the child for shielding of criticism. That, Deon, she tried to smear me by saying that I abused her child. So yes, I do have a very...
She was also scared, Brenda. She also said she was scared to change his diaper when he was a baby.
Yeah, I remember that. That's recent, though.
That was recent, and I'm like, what? That's weird.
Yeah, that really even threw me for a loop because I think that's pretty recent. But EKC, I just sent you the link on Twitter. I'm recent. Not using Twitter or Facebook. Sorry. Yeah, that seemed bizarre.
That really freaked me out. Oh, here it is. All the CSA and
here's the tweet. By the way, I keep documents, people. This particular Google Doc is 135 pages long. But yeah, what does that say? This is again, Deon. This is her saying that I abused her child because of this particular tweet.
Yeah.
Can you read the tweet for the?
You've never even met him. Never been in the same room. So how are you abusing her child?
Oh, I just gave you. I gave EKC the code, and I don't think she knows how to use it. So I have to give her the whole thing. It's okay. I'll give her the whole link. I'll make it easy for you, EKC. There you go. But yeah, what does it say, please?
It says Katie's son looks a very happy, normal kid. I really hate involving family and kids, but she claims he is medical fragile. I am clearly not an MD, and honestly asking what would make him medical fragile if this healthy looking, normal, and talkative.
Now, she
said that he was nonverbal. She said that he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, he wouldn't eat, he has to be in a feeding tube, and he blatantly, in many videos, runs in the room while she's live, running and talking sentences.
Thank you.
And he eats Cheetos, he eats M&Ms, he eats whatever he gets his hands on if she'll allow it.
Thank you.
I don't believe that she is Dee Blanchard. I do believe that she is keeping him sick.
Yeah, I'm going to go so far as being,
not letting him progress.
You're talking about letting him Gypsy Rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not believe she's the cause of him being sick. I believe that she is not allowing him to get better. She doesn't want him to get better.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Do you want to come back in the other account?
Okay, there. Why? What account am I on?
Mike.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize he was signed in. All right, I'll be right back.
It's okay. Yeah, that's exactly what, and this is what I'm saying. People were asking these types of questions, which I think everybody has a right to. If she's a mommy blogger and she writes in her blog how sick her son is. By the way, she lied and said that I said her kid wasn't sick, which never was the case. I know the kid had problems and still has problems. There's no doubt in my mind about
here.
that.
Like, there
We
is
all
medical
support the
issues,
kid.
absolutely.
Yeah, but
Yes, we all love V. We want the best for V.
but my lawyer said, hey, for the TRO, these are the things that you've said that Katie said about her child. Do you have evidence of all these? Absolutely. And I sent him a list of every single thing that Katie Joy has said about her child, from being non-talkative and non-verbal to having born without a pituitary gland, having hydrocephalus,
Which is impossible.
all these things. And again, I'm not a doctor, but if all these things were true, it's pretty sketchy, right? But there was no defamation there because she said them about her own child. And she's suing. She was trying to sue me for bringing them up, and yet I had evidence. She said them. I went through all her old mommy blogger stuff, and I found everything that I had said, and because I documented it before I even put it out, and so I had it all ready for my lawyers. And so yes, I do my due diligence. Yes. So
you asked a question.
I asked a question.
You didn't put anything out there that she did not say. You asked a question, and it's a good question. What exactly does medically fragile mean?
And I got so much flack.
I don't know.
This. I got so much flack for this. It's unbelievable. Yes. Anyways, welcome EKC. Would you like to introduce yourself to Deon if he's listening later on? Because I think he's probably watch this later on afterwards about your channel, because I think that he should know the decent channels out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the name of my channel is ECKPeopleSuck, and I use that term not because I'm sitting back pointing the finger at everyone else saying, oh my God, look at all these people that suck. It's more like is a reminder to all of us that sometimes we all kind of suck, and just to try to be a bit more forgiving or granting grace when that happens, when appropriate anyways, when remorse is shown, I guess. But more importantly, to understand that within ourselves, that sometimes we are going to suck as well. So yeah, and one of the people I talk about often, because they do suck often, is Katie Joy, among others.
Yeah.
And myself, I'm not immune from being on the chopping block at times. It's whatever, it is what it is. But yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much your channel. Yeah.
But I like to make jokes about it though too. I like to try to find the humor in most everything. So
hi, Meek. Meek's out there, and Charlotte's out there. Hi, Charlotte. Charlotte says, read about Munchausen's. There are different levels, which I found out later on in the fact. Matter of fact, it was Ellie B that had actually said that Katie Joy had Munchausen by proxy, and actually said that I didn't think she did, knowing what little at the time I knew about Munchausen by proxy. However, subsequently, there are different things about Munchausen by proxy I did learn, which could be indicative of Katie Joy to some degree. Do I think she harms a kid? No, I do not.
Yeah, like that would be Munchausen's by proxy is Dee Dee Blanchard. But then there's also just your typical Munchausen's, which is, well, if
I think she gains benefit by him being medically unwell. I think that she benefits from it, and she
likes it that way.
Yeah, I that's what I believe. And so if you want to call that under Munchausen, then I can go with that. Like Shirley says, keeping him inside the house on an iPad, which is harmful to him, keeping the feeding tube when he can eat, firing doctors and home nurses when they speak up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying as well.
Yeah, and that I believe is what you call Munchausen's, not Munchausen's by proxy. And
this is like, I don't think, I've never really thought that she's had that, but I do think that she's not ashamed, or not ashamed, but she's perfectly willing to exaggerate maybe a situation or a diagnosis or a symptom or something like that, but not for like financial gain or anything like that. Just to
for attention. It's just for attention.
That, and I think greater privilege.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yes. Yep. And here's my evidence. Remember, I said that she actually said she did not DMCA me. Really? Really? Takedown issued by Without a Crystal Ball. So she will go after your channels. She has done that in the past. She will continue to do that, I'm sure. But this is where I said Katie Joy Paulson is an immediate existential threat to all content creators. Same dishonest abuse of the DMCA system that flat earthers do to silence people. And of course, when she sued me,
she didn't even know the word you used.
Yeah, I don't have it right now, but in her lawsuit, she said that I said she was an existential threat on humanity. That's her words. Not even joking.
Yeah, and that you did not say that.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, yeah,
I did see that
go ahead.
video, Brenda. Yeah, and her meds. Yes, the life-saving medication for V was expired, and she actually had the balls to blame the nurses.
Maybe she did put it in here. I don't know. I'll look in here in a second. But this right here, by the way, do you see this? Plaintiff's initial disclosures. This was literally our discovery that they said, oh, Steve hasn't gone through discovery. And I'm like, we're doing pre-discovery. We are in discovery phase. We're doing initial disclosures. I never released this publicly, but here it is. Yeah. And it's, here's the part right here. Category social media posts we're going after, her social media messages, and her YouTube videos. And this is, remember I even said discovery works both ways. I have nothing to I had nothing to fear from her, but we wanted her messages with Union Rock. We wanted her messages with other people that were helping her to harass people. No, because we didn't, because the lawsuit didn't go to fruition because
you didn't go through with it.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't. It was. I already spent. I spent $10,000. I get $4 from my GoFundMe, so I was still $6,000 out of pocket. Plus, was another $2,500 for the TRO. This is true. I was at one time I had $400 on my account, $400 to my name, and so it's legal things are very, very expensive. And when you have somebody who steals $30,000 from you. Yeah, that hurts when you're not made of money, especially back then. I wasn't working full time. Now I have some money saved. If that ever happens again, I'm not going to be on the street. But back then I was that close to having no place because of, I think in partial because of this woman, because she was helping Kyle, But yes, this literally was our disclosure. I mean, our pre-disclosure stuff that they said, oh, Steve's not in discovery. Oh, and look what I found. This is really hard to see, huh? Can you read the yellow part?
Pathetic Crystal Bell's victims hotline, but that's
no. In the document.
No.
All right. It says Steve said incredibly inappropriate things to me before and after streams. I know what he's talking about when he's talking to Kyle. That was and then people started asking her, what do you mean Steve said inappropriate things? Because we'd only been on stream 3 times together. 3 times.
Yeah.
And every time Bullinator and of course Kyle was with us. She had to fabricate a story after that. Then she had to concoct a story. And that was, Steve was saying inappropriate things and showing me, his naked body parts and harassing me. And all of a sudden it was like, what the hell just happened here? She created that out of nothing. Hi, Chin. Hey, Chin Without. That's a long time. I think it's been a while since Chin Without's been around. She said, yeah. Thank you. She says, I hope everybody is doing well, and I can't stay in the chat, but just wanted to show my support 100%. Sending you all hugs. P.S. Cancel KG.
Love her thumbnail.
Thank you. Yes. What else? So, Erin, if you had one piece of advice to give to Deon in regards to this case, what would it be?
Pay attention, especially now, and document everything because she's not done. I don't think she would have been done to begin with, but I think now especially she's not done because she kind of got made to look like a fool, even if only a little bit, or to only, I don't know, maybe if only for a minute, because she removed her shit like right afterwards. She's not going to let this go. She's going to hold a grudge about this because
100%.
You dare to point out that she is not, in fact, this world-renowned investigative journalist with these beautifully accurate, truthful sources that only she has access to. How dare you reveal her bullshit to everyone? She's nowhere near done.
Her sources are about as accurate as a Ouija
she's
board.
Just getting started.
Yeah,
just buckle up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. By the way, here's evidence which she's like, what medical bills do you receive? Medical disability, medical benefits. Who pays those bills? It's not private information. Yeah, it's private information. Fraud is fraud. Jesus. And this is our Bullinator, who's no longer with us, one of the greatest guys I've ever known in my life. Bullinator, who is producer for Non Sequitur, that helped him. Bullinator started Katie Joy's YouTube channel. Period. Bar none. Without him, she would not have a YouTube channel. And he's even said, I'm disappointed with you, Crystal, without a crystal ball. Was an account no longer there because she dirty deleted her entire Twitter account. Steve's personal finances are nobody else's business but Steve's. You are literally playing judge, jury, and executioner without one shred of evidence. Steve has shown his Steve hasn't shown his financials to anyone that I'm aware of, and it's certainly not your place to talk about to a veteran about the legality of receiving VA benefits. They are definitely earned it, and I can confirm it isn't contingent on one's income. And then he talked, and he was military as well. So that's sick, you know. That's what she does.
Say, that is just disgusting.
This is a long document.
I'd love to know who the hell she thinks she is.
Yeah. Here she says, Steve admits he didn't want the money because he was on Social Security and wanted Kyle to pay him cash, so he wanted to hide the money. Fun fact, I have never collected Social Security. This was an outright lie. Again, this is why I was suing her. There's no evidence for this because it cannot happen because I've never collected Social Security. I had a very strong case. Why would I be on Social Security?
I just said that KJ emailed Deon's lawyer. You got to be kidding me.
What happened?
Maya just said that KJ emailed Deon's lawyer.
What did she email him about?
What the hell did she say?
What do you mean? But that's not. I mean, you do communicate with the lawyers, but I mean, why would she not have her own lawyer?
Yeah, but Katie, it should be the lawyers communicating with the lawyers.
Yeah, but KJ's exactly. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, but you got to remember, Katie Joy thinks she's smarter than lawyers.
She does. She thinks she's invincible. So I guarantee. Yeah, I believe it. I'd believe that she emailed him. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally
believe that.
Yeah, why pay the lawyers to do it when you could just do it yourself for free? You know?
Right. There you go. Pro se. Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine if she went to pro se? This is another thing that Deon is going to have to expect because Katie Joy projects, and Katie Joy does have a group of trolls. Plus, she has a lot of fake accounts that she uses to hide behind. This is well established. Crystal Ball said this was back in 2019, so this is 4 years ago. Don't engage with the trolls. Steve has a pack of people with dozens of sock accounts. Who was this? Their talking points are that I'm a liar. And then use any method to
that's been established.
to incite a reaction from you. Steve is exposed and desperate now. Block those that sound ridiculous. This is what she's going to try to do. She's going to try to make it sound like Deon is the perpetrator of all this stuff and he's the bad guy, and that do not listen to him or anybody that talks about the case or has anything negative to say about her. She isolates people. This is a cult. She knows how to run a cult. She isolates people. And this is one of the reasons she does it. Don't talk to the trolls. We're the bad people. We're the baddies, according to her. But of course, we have all the evidence to show that she has lied about every single one of us multiple times.
She does it all the time. Like, she'll come for you, and then when she doesn't get what she wants, and it actually turns out that she came for you and she fucked up, she'll play victim. No, he or she came for me. Well, they did that. And stupid people believe her.
Yeah, how dare they went after me first. They like, here she says, I'm a journalist. And then we're all like, no, you're not. You have no journalistic credentials whatsoever. And so how dare you mock my journalistic integrity?
Integrity. Yeah, that's something you need to earn there, girl.
And by the way,
you ain't got it.
You gotta know what it is first.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
Everything comes from court records, right? Yeah, because she pays to find court records on people. She had found.
Features her favorite site.
She deep dived on me. She tried to find records on me. She looked for the arrest records. She looked at bankruptcy records. She looked at everything. I've never been arrested. I did have a bankruptcy years ago, which I already admitted to long before. She didn't have to pay for that. But I've never been arrested. I've no trouble with the law.
That she would even go that far to bring it up. Like, who gives a shit, Katie? You fucked up.
Because if she figures, if she can character assassinate somebody by what they did 20, 30 years ago, that it must be that person's a bad person 30 years later. This is how her mind operates.
It's just awful. Like, nobody else does this. Only her.
What do you think?
Only YouTuber.
What do you think she would send a letter to his lawyer for, though?
Please don't sue me. I'm begging you.
No. Oh, here's a good one. So, Deon's been told that Toddy Westbrook, who has 10 million subs, sued her for defamation. The only reason she dropped the case is because Katie Joy had information from one of her business partners, James. Was it James? Was it the name of the guy?
No, that was her husband.
That was her husband, right? Who was the name of her business partner? Oh my God, it's been so long.
I know it has
Erin.
been so long.
I need your brain.
Erin, do you remember? I can't think of it.
It's right.
Clark Swanson.
Clark Swanson.
That's it.
Thank you. This is why I keep you around. I can't remember half this stuff any longer. But she had information on Clark Swanson that Toddy Westbrook needed for her suit with him, and so he was a bigger fish. But here's Katie Joy is literally saying, still wanting to know why a gun is pointing at me, thanks, because she had a picture of a ray gun next to a crystal ball, and she was talking about prognosticators or people that are clairvoyant and people that are predicting the future, because this was dealing with something relating to what was it, Lady Gaga, I think it was, but it had to do with something with prognostication or future psychic stuff. It had nothing to do with Katie Joy whatsoever.
Yeah,
Toddy Westbrook, I know nothing about, but I can guarantee it. She's not passive aggressive, and she does not put little things like, "Oh, I'm sending a death threat to Katie Joy by putting a ray gun emoji to a crystal ball emoji." But here's Katie Joy thinking this is a death threat. She's not mentally well.
yeah. Toddy actually left for a year because of this shit.
Yeah, this Chin Without loves the image that I use. Look, you know what's so funny is I'm not normally somebody to use the worst possible picture of somebody. I know a lot of clip channels do that because it's salacious and it's a little clicky. But with Katie Joy, I can't help myself, man. I have to use the worst freaking photo I can find. Yeah, Toddy Westbrook has sent me 3 cease and desist letters. Deon, you're not the first to silence me. I've not covered her in weeks. Then this week she uploads this photo with a crystal ball, me, and a gun. That's not okay. Large influencers threatening small channels and journalists is not okay. This was complete paranoia, and it might be hard for the outside to see. Can you guys see that on the outside? If it's too small, I can make it large. But
Yeah, she was using those knife emojis. Do you remember what that was for, Casey? It was kind of recent too. It was like after every post of something. I can't remember what the hell she was talking about.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I think I do remember seeing it, but I don't remember what they said.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was about, but she kept using these knife emojis just for one certain person, one certain top. I think it was for 7M actually. Yeah, it was for 7M. And at the end of every, long drawn out sentence, she would use a knife emoji. And it's like, are you threatening them? Like, what's wrong with you? Then she stopped. Unbelievable, that one.
I might have a screenshot of it or something. I don't know.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think what else. It's just again, I want to keep it concise because we can talk forever about some of the individual cases and some of the names.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, EKC, you have a list of all the people that Katie Joy has had a problem with on YouTube. Yeah. How long is your list now?
Tons.
I have to pull up that stream. Oh no, wait, I did. This was not a list of people she's like had issues with or gone at or whatever. This was a list of people that she covered as content. Like I didn't want to include like other YouTubers unless they were involved in content that she was covering. That's also is a very specific list.
Gotcha.
So like it would have been like Todd Chrisley, it would have been 7M, it would have been Micah Stauffer,
Yep.
But it wouldn't have been LB, it wouldn't have been you.
I got you.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's still a pretty extensive list. So I'm not sure where I have it.
This is an example of what she would use for flying monkeys that Deon's going to have to get be aware of, the flying monkeys that she has. This flying monkey said, looking back, you can tell Steve made the screenshots. It has similar grammatical errors that he makes. I swear to God, I have never made a single solitary fake screenshot or email ever in my life.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say you never once made a single
grammatical error.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
What?
But even
you're perfect Steve over there.
But even Katie Joy was like, oh, I don't think Steve made them, and then she accused me in the lawsuit of making them. We're not going to get into the details what they are. Sorry, Deon. It's personal with somebody that's a friend of mine, and if you want to know in private, I'll discuss it. But in public, we just chose not to speak about it because we have consideration for people. But
I'm wondering if you should warn him about the I don't want to say her name, but the one from United Kingdom. Do you think he has to worry about that or no?
Yeah, not from her, but people faking be her maybe. We'll get into that.
Maybe talk to him about that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
Not on here, but
yeah. But here's the funny thing. She sued me. Now, wrap your head around this, Erin and Nikki. She says here, I don't think he made them. And then in her lawsuit, she not only just says in her opinion that I made them, she says Steve created false screenshots with zero evidence because again, she knows it wasn't going to be adjudicated probably, even though she just assumes it wasn't going to be adjudicated. I really had every plan to go all the way to the end. And if I had the resources to do it, absolutely. I would have put myself in debt. I have, credit cards. I would have spent as much money, but I had to weigh the pros and cons and go, look, after these other lawsuits with Todd Chrisley and 7M, I'm going to spend $20,000 of my own money that I barely have. And at the time, what I have, I didn't have that kind of money. And for what? To get what out of it? Vindication that she lied? We already know she lied.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It would have been nice to have her have to admit it. That would have been amazing.
Well, and that's tell Deon that. Tell Deon that that's what justice would be. Katie Joy admitting that she lied about something. That she lied about
her having
I don't want to go over
her having to remove everything, absolutely everything. She's still got a video up on him, from a year ago. And people are commenting on it right now, telling her off.
Wow. No, I did not know that. I don't go over to her channel. Yeah.
Well, somebody sent something to me and I don't know, I seen it somewhere. So I went and looked. Sure enough, the video's up. So I think tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that video, but I'm just going to read the comments because I'm not going to read or let her mouth go on anywhere about what he's supposedly done when he hasn't done anything. But it was from a year ago. She was already after him. But I'm going to read the comments because they're pretty freaking good.
Yeah. No, I would totally watch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here she's asking for, and this has been verified. I know exactly who she sent this to. She said, "Do you have trolls I can mass report?" Yeah, this is when she was going after my channel and Leslie Bass's channel. Yeah, she's dirty.
She's very dirty, very, very dirty. No morals.
I just of all the time I've spent on the internet, even fighting with people on the internet, I've never experienced or seen any kind of shit like this, let alone consistently with one person.
True.
It's only been
two people now. Two people.
Yeah.
Unirock and her have the same.
Yeah, but I think even then, I think it's been pretty much just things involving Katie Joy.
Mm-hmm.
I fought with my fair share of people online before, more than once, each person, and never seen any shit like this. It's crazy.
Well, okay.
It's wild.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Deon is going to have to put up with her using things like Kiwi Farms and fake news sites to put out misinformation about him. This is what he needs to be aware of. She says she doesn't use Kiwi Farms. We have absolute evidence that she does.
There's proof.
Yeah, there's proof. This is literally proof right here that she.
But think about that. Okay, that's where she got a lot of her Gypsy Blanchard, whatever information, along with the Schofield kids. And then with the Creepshow art link that she shared in Unirec server, that came from Lolcow Farms.
Do you see the name?
She's definitely a regular on the farm sites.
Right. Do you see the name there, Fancy? Do you know who Fancy is?
Fancy?
Fancy Maselli. Did you see the screen name?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not on there. Let me look. Oh no, I don't know who that is.
She was the producer doing the story for Gypsy Rose.
Oh, she one of the ones that was in an interview with Katie where Katie said that shit about her.
Oh, the one where Katie said that her son's capable of murder.
Yes, that was her. That was on Fancy.
Okay.
And I did talk to Fancy for some time. But yes, it was proven that she did use Kiwi Farms to put out misinformation to people and to gather people's information. So this again, she does have fake sock accounts. She will just throw things out there because it's because of the anonymity involved, right? When you're having anonymity on these sites, you can put out any narrative you want, and there are fake news sites that she does use to put out false narratives on people.
It's disgusting.
So
she'll never stop.
And here's more evidence of her being on Kiwi Farms. And so again, this is what we have to warn him of if he's going to pursue this, which it really does seem like he is, and I think absolutely not because I want to see justice, but I think he has a strong case, and to set the record straight and make sure she never does this again to anybody else. He has to understand that she will play dirty and she will double, triple,
very dirty.
It's not. Yeah, it's brutal how just vicious she will go after you and her family. Yeah, it's
she will pull every record on any single one of your family members just to hurt you.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think what else. Because there's so much in here, I don't want to just bog him down with the minutia, but the important stuff that he should probably know. Oh, here we go. Here, Yeah, I love this one. Actually, I know that my stalker wants. They said it repeatedly. I'm her stalker, by the way. Apparently, they want to destroy me, my channel, and my business. They believe that I am so dangerous to the world that I must be stopped. Going back to that existential threat to humanity, which is ironic because what they do to me exceeds 10,000 times anything I've ever done. Really, none of us have ever gone in real life. None of us have contacted anybody. I've never called the police on her, never called CPS on her, never called the FBI on her, never called any organization on her. I've had people, because of her and Kyle and other people, call the FBI on me, call Medi-Cal on me, call there was another organization too. But yeah, they don't care. And when I asked one person who actually did call the FBI, and I asked him, what the hell would you possibly tell the FBI about me when we know it's bullshit? Oh, I just told him what Kyle told me. That's called hearsay. And we found out Kyle was lying. I mean, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another thing you might have to expect. How many times did Katie say she was hacked during the
oh my God,
during the last court case?
So I asked EKC that the other night. I'm still so confused about that.
Even before then, it was a few months before then, she was on the channel Laughing in Disbelief, I think was the name of it. The person who runs the channel was also a writer at Pathos. She went on there as a guest, and one of the people up on panel just completely, totally mocked her the entire time. It was freaking hilarious, and she didn't even realize it. But I digress. She sat there saying, "Oh, I'm just sitting here, like all these hacking attempts or all these attempts trying to get into my Instagram." She's like, "It just keeps happening." She's like, 1, 4, 5
in real time,
she's like,
right?
Oh
in
my
real
God,
time.
you just won't stop. Oh, look, another one.
Yeah, that was.
Like,
I remember that. That was actually, she was doing that in like real time.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. And then
that's not how it works.
Yeah, she says here, 15 attempts to hack my Instagram, multiple phone calls and threats, 10 attempts to hack my Twitter. Wow, this is fun. And she tried to blame that all on me and my quote troll group that I never ever had. Who was my troll? Because the only people I know are you and some other people. Even though I knew other people back then. Who were my troll group? Nobody did I know would hack anybody. Nobody.
Yeah.
Not a single person do I know would ever think it's ethical or conscionable to hack into somebody's account. Nobody. So what the hell does this have to do with me? Because she was trying to sue me for this stuff too.
Just to make it look bad. Well, that's the thing. Did she finally get that damn key that was like basically the best thing you could have? I can't remember if she did or not.
The what?
After all these stupid attempts.
Oh, you mean pretty good privacy?
Yeah. Yeah.
PGP, pretty good privacy. I have no idea. You know.
Yeah, I thought maybe I saw something about that. She finally got that key, like an actual key that you need to have in order to get into your accounts. I swear I saw her say something about it.
No,
somebody told her about it. She was supposed to get one.
It's an encryption key. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here she says, please retweet these screenshots and let YouTube creators know that Streamer Cray is using his platform to cyberstalk and harass other content creators. And the best response ever. Trying to take down another content creator, I see.
Wow.
Because I wasn't the first she was trying to take down.
Oh, she's trying to take down everybody.
Let's see here.
Oh shit, is Kiwi Farms back up?
I don't know.
I think it might be.
No way.
Well, I mean, it came back up again after it was taken down before. It was up for a while. It came back a couple of times, but one of the times it was up for a while. I haven't looked at it quite some time.
I haven't followed the whole. A lot of that was that Kerfuff, or what is her name? Keffels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the evidence, though, that we were talking about earlier. I guess the people who donated to Katie Joy's alleged fake-ass Ronald McDonald charity drive she did through her personal PayPal could report as well. Again, we document all this stuff. You know, this did happen.
You got it because she lies so fucking much. It's pathetic. You should be able to say what you need to say and have, not have to have receipts. But when it comes to her, you have to have everything.
You have to have everything. Dot your I's, cross your T's. And here, in other words.
Exactly. Like I would even download this live and keep this.
Do you remember when Katie Joy's husband lost her job and she says, thank you, as a mother and wife, I'm now the single provider for my family. My husband was laid off and have to work to make sure my house bills and son are provided for. And she had lied to people, I know, shocking, and said that her husband was laid off because they didn't want to pay for her son's medical, when 2 months prior she had already said that the company was doing layoffs.
Exactly. And hers got laid off. And then it comes to this. Really? Again, another thing to say about her kid. So people feel sorry for her, give her money. And who knows who pissed her off that day?
Yep.
Could have been anyone.
This is how she twists things.
Oh yeah.
By the way, anybody else wanted to
Thanks,
like
Country Girl Brenda. So she said, yeah, she did. She said she had the key one time when she got hacked. Okay, so I remember hearing that too.
Oh, here. Remember we had the TRO. She says, I'm aware of a live stream being done about me on behalf of someone, as stated by the person on the live stream. This person is prohibited by using third parties to contact or harass me. Therefore, this video will be provided to my attorney and forwarded to the judge. That never happened. Yeah.
Nope. A lot of this, just like Emily D. Baker wasn't in the Toddy lawsuit, right? She didn't countersue. She didn't even. I'm going to sue Toddy. No, you didn't.
She sent Emily D. Baker a letter of preservation order for me. Yeah. I have never spoken to the woman.
I know.
Emily D. Baker and I have never had a conversation. So what is there to preserve?
Like, you have to actually know something in order to send something like that. And she doesn't.
I love when Emily D. Baker was actually talking about it, and she said, "Oh, you want me to preserve all the communications between Steve and I? Great, they're preserved. There you go. Nothing."
Yeah.
Can you preserve nothing?
It's like when Emily D. Baker was like, it's pretty bad when a journalist doesn't even know what a manner of death is to a cause of death. Remember that?
Yeah. Here was my Patreon. My Patreon went down, significantly because of her false allegations.
Oh yeah.
I had evidence of that too. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about before the last thing, which was the UK person. I am going to talk about that on air.
Okay.
But because I think it's important.
Like she's on I don't want to say parole, but I said it house arrest.
I don't know what you know what? I'm just gonna turn it over to Erin.
Yeah.
And let Erin kind of what do you know about the situation? What do you want to tell Deon about the person who literally tried to involve themselves with the Toddy Westbrook case, knowing nothing about the situation, in order to throw a cog in it. And this person was doing Katie Joy's dirty work, lying to say that I was sending them death threats, making sick, perverse things. I don't want to get into the details about EKC's children and Toddy Westbrook's lawyer. I don't think she's still around, but does Deon need to be concerned about that?
Yes and no. Not necessarily from her, specifically, but like, how you mentioned earlier how employing like these bullshit websites or whatever, media news sites to push a narrative or agenda or whatever. Yep. I think much in the same way people will employ said websites, people will employ said people. I think that's where I'm landing on where Nat came from, is some sort of situation like that, because I did end up finding her elsewhere on the internet. However, this is still new stuff where I found her on the internet. It's new. And it's basically, she's selling like bullshit stuff on news sites. They're sponsorship posts or whatever. They, the ones that present themselves as though they are an actual like editorial piece, but it's really just an ad.
Yeah.
That's where I found her. She's pushing some bullshit treatment for like rosacea. I don't know what it's called.
Rosacea. Yeah.
Thank you.
Rosacea?
Rosacea.
So she's been.
All right. Well, tell him the name, because I don't care if you mention it.
What her name?
Natalie.
Oh yeah, Natalie Kennett. Yeah. And she's mentioned in this article or sponsorship ad, whatever, as under that name too, of Natalie Kennett. So I don't know, but I'm going to say whether or not she does exist as that name, I don't think she was ever arrested. I think
I don't either.
I said the same.
I think the same thing, and I can't. That's my opinion. And I'm sorry, and I know that Salsa is a high-priced lawyer, and I know he put it out that she was arrested. I'm not convinced of that. I'm not saying he's wrong. I am no longer convinced that Natalie Kennett was arrested. There's evidence that a lot of that was just BS put on sites made up of people for show. And we thought that for a very long time. And so this is why I actually asked Salts, do you have any more evidence of this? And I got silence. And I talked to Salts many times before, but he never once responded to me on that. And that was kind of telling.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that there either.
I don't either. A lot of that stuff that happened, I don't
Right.
Like, when do you, it's like, when do you get, I don't know, almost like a relief? Like, when are people going to be held accountable? Like, I remember asking that the other day, like this whole FBI crap and stuff like that. It was just so much shit happened to a lot of
Yeah.
people,
Well,
threats and everything.
there was supposed to be this FBI investigation about me and everything.
Yeah.
That didn't exist. Here she says, I truly believe they wanted me murdered.
Yep.
Yeah, Deon, if you watch this, Katie Joy Paulson honestly believed me, a guy that would serve 6 years in the Navy, honorable, 4.0, 3.8 evaluations, nuclear Navy, which was the elite of the Navy, never been arrested in his life, never, hadn't had a ticket in 20 years probably, that I really wanted this person murdered. Right?
But, I mean,
and
just
wait,
what,
it
over
gets,
like social media fucking nonsense?
it gets
I mean,
better.
Jesus.
This is one of her sycophants, her flying monkeys from the DARVO, that said that's their end goal. Steve is actively looking for someone unwell enough to do it.
That, you can't say that. Like, holy frig.
Wow.
Wrap your head around this, guys. And some of the stuff
She's a fucking nut job.
I made public a long time ago, but I never really talked about my channel because there are the names in here I don't want to ever see again or deal again. I will tell you that I will say this: Dominic has, and we're probably never going to ever be anything more than at best neutral, but at least Dominic did realize that she was being lied to, and she was probably the only person who even admitted that she was lied to and she was told misinformation, and we are cordial with each other in Erin's chat, so I will give that to her, Dominique here. Okay, but the other ones are sick, mentally unwell people that Katie Joy, this is projection, because Katie Joy has used these people to promote these bullshit narratives that she's some kind of victim and she's the one being persecuted.
It's not just that. I mean, like, she employed, I say what you want, you can disagree with my opinion. My opinion is she absolutely had a hand in the employment of certain people, or in some regard, and also the narrative that was spread.
Absolutely.
So, out of all the things she could have used in this narrative against someone, look at the things she settled on. Like, that's just fucked up. Like, not just even about you, but anyone.
Yeah. Why, if she was so worried about her family, why did she settle the TRO? Why did she try to get a restraining order against me? Why didn't
she move?
Why would I go to her state? I've never, like I said, I've been 1,500 miles.
Like, why didn't she move then? She was that scared. Why the hell didn't she move?
Why'd she stay online, just fucking instigating everyone? I mean, yeah.
Well, I don't think.
Why didn't she sue you back?
I'm gonna, to be fair, I don't think people should be run off the internet because of threats. However, when you have a family,
no, they shouldn't be. You're right.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be. You're absolutely right.
But you still have to take care of your family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you truly and honestly, genuinely believe the things that she said, then who wouldn't? Even if it's only temporary, just take that precaution and protect your family.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100% agreed.
And she never once left. She never took one damn break. Not one. If anything, she got worse.
Here she says, and again, this is what I was suing her for. She said, according to Natalie Kelly's mom, she claims Steve McRae messaged Nat in February on Instagram. She alleged that he sent graphic images and warned her not to do what Little Miss Noble said. Tracy alleged they reported it to the police at the time. This is what Natalie stated this week. And then she goes on a live chat and says that I sent death threats to this Natalie person and graphic images that could not have possibly happened because I've never spoke to this person in my life, not on any social media. There's no evidence of it because it never happened. And so when people started asking Katie Joy, where's the evidence that Steve said death threats to somebody, she couldn't produce anything. And this is another advice I give to Deon. In this particular case, evidence or it didn't happen, because people are going to tell you a lot of things. If they don't have receipts, and I mean receipts, don't just take everything at face value. Even everything I put out. I can tell you right now, this whole document is fully vetted. I have it on the Wayback Machine. Every one of these tweets are from her. We all know this. They've been thoroughly vetted. But other people will make fake tweets. Other people will make fake messages. I guarantee it. It will happen at some point along the way. Somebody's going to give you misinformation, and it will be willful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I believe it'll happen. I would just go for him. My best advice: just stick with your lawyer or your lawyers. Everything you get, everything you see, document everything and keep giving it to them. There's some good people out here that have your back. They want to help you, but then there's
some people that will really want to hurt you.
I think he's actually surprised that so many people are willing to help him get information and get documentation, and I mean above board stuff, right? People that have been harmed by this woman, and that wants to see justice.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, not just for his family.
He's got a whole community behind him. A whole community on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. Facebook, YouTube.
If he gets justice, we get justice by proxy, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So am I, absolutely.
This is what he has to look forward to, though. Deon, this is what she will be saying. She's going to be saying this about you here. She says, and this is towards me. This is back in July of 18 of 2021. I am done with people saying I am unhinged for sharing my truth. Whenever she says my truth, she's lying.
Truth, yeah.
She's lying.
I don't lie. I'm not lying. And then
you're a liar.
She literally said that she literally said she was incapable of lying, and then people projected that and said, "Oh, Steve said he's incapable of lying." I'm like, I never said that. I'm a virtue ethicist. I'm not a Kantian. I absolutely am capable of lying. I just try not to. Even only when I do, it's to save somebody's feelings. Okay, I don't lie for my own benefit. I lie because I don't want somebody else hurt. If somebody says, "Hey, look, do I look ugly or something like that?" I'm going to go, yeah, you know what? You are.
No, you're beautiful.
You're just, you're I'm not going to be brute like that. That's just, I think there's times to have little white lies. Okay. But her truth is a complete 180 of reality. And by the way, Erin, you look nice tonight.
Oh, thank you.
I love her hair.
Get what I did? In it. Wait, come on. You didn't get what I just did there?
Oh, what?
I saw.
Oh, you fucker. I thought you were being sincere.
See, I can lie. No, I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying.
You look nice too, Steve.
Piss off.
Watch it. You'll get a sexual harassment charge, Steve.
Oh, that was funny. She finally caught that. She's like, wait. No, you do look amazing. So for 2 years, a narcissistic psychopath, I don't think she knows the meaning of those two words, has literally stalked, harassed, and destroyed my peace. Until you have been stalked and abused by somebody like him is me, by the way, here, don't tell me how to act. Fuck y'all, blame him instead. Fuck any of you that says I can't fucking say he sexually harassed me. He did. He's a fucking narcissistic prick, abuser, and has done this to multiple creators. Fun fact, not a single one of them ever came forward on that. Fun fact, that never happened to any creator. I only ever apologized to him because he threatened me. Fun fact, that came out, she lied about that too. When she sued me, she said that I had threatened her in an email to produce a video apologizing for something. I have our conversations on that, which I have released on Erin's channel. That's not at all how it happened. She volunteered to make this video because she realized at the time, or she said that I was telling her the truth and Kyle wasn't, and she wanted to kind of set the record straight. So there was absolutely no threats there whatsoever. More lies here. My restraining order was granted because he literally harassed me over these claims and threatened me. Well, her restraining order was not granted. Her temporary was, which all temporary restraining orders are granted, basically because of safety concerns for the individual. She was not granted a restraining order. I fought that, and she didn't go through with it. She dropped it because she wanted to sue me instead. Because suing me for defamation is more important than her family's safety, apparently.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Look at what he's done now. His cult is attacking Charlotte and Waxy. First of all, I don't know what the hell she ever meant by Charlotte. I have no issue with Charlotte. She
doesn't even like Charlotte.
We get along.
I mean you do, but she doesn't like anybody.
Yeah, but when did I ever even talk about Charlotte? When did I ever? Who attacked Charlotte for what?
Ever?
Yeah, and I am of the belief that Waxy kind of attacked herself. So
Waxy. Yeah. Nobody attacked Waxy. Waxy did it herself. Exactly. Waxy lied and said she had evidence of something that couldn't have possibly happened.
And she never. She saw the video.
She's gonna make a video.
Oh, I'm gonna make a banger video about it and expose Steve. No, actually, what was it?
I'm still waiting.
Was it Waxy or was it Kay Baxter that said, "Well, we can't get all the evidence to Steve. We can get it close, but we can't tie it to Steve."
That was Waxy.
That was Waxy. Yeah. Go figure, Waxy. It still pisses me off this day that was a single person that believed that woman, because when they had asked her for evidence, she's like, "Oh, it's forthcoming." 2 years later, still no evidence. They go after anybody that speaks the truth. Don't ever be fucking silenced by abusers. Then they win. I will not bow to him, and if it takes going to jail, I'll do everything in my power to send his ass there. Women support women, period. Everyone else can kiss my fucking ass. Well, she lost a lot of support after that. Then women found out that she lied about her claims about not just me, about the sexual harassment, when she lied about the police officer involved in her rape case that Erin had thoroughly gone through and vetted on her channel.
I'm glad that you did. I know you got shit for it, but I'm so glad you did.
I'm glad she did too.
I am too. I mean, I've had some consequences as a result, but I mean, it's definitely been, the benefits have outweighed the consequences.
I agree.
So.
Well, it needed to be told. Those lies right there, that that was really bad. That was really bad. I mean,
yeah, and that's the thing. And I think that I don't think that she gets called on her shit to that kind of a level or anything often. But boy, she can't fucking handle it. I mean, she
really lost her mind.
Oh, she
feels entitled to just ruin anyone in her path and to make up whatever she wants about whomever, regardless of the effects it's going to have on their life, professionally or personally. And no,
you did it. You were the first one to confront her with the truth, and she could not handle it.
You weren't a real woman to her because you didn't support her bullshit allegations that she had no evidence for. Here, she says, I want to move on. I do not want to continue the rehash of harassment and abuse I experienced the past 2 years. And by the way, Deon, you'll find this. This is the same verbiage she has used for what? I would say 3 dozen people already.
Yeah.
I'm probably being conservative, but I'm not being hyperbolic. It's probably 2 dozen people. She has said the exact same thing, that she's being harassed. Platforming Steve only gives him what he wants. He wants to hurt your subs money, and he wants to hurt me. I haven't found a way to stop him in 2 years. No, I don't want to hurt her. What I want is the truth to come out. I want people to recognize she lied about me and other people. This is why this is why I'm a threat to her in that regard, because she won't even talk about me. She does not want people to find out about me, about Nikki, about Erin, about Tina. She doesn't want any of that, because if they do, what happens? They start questioning her, and when they start questioning her, what does she start doing? She starts blocking them. And I'm so sorry. I've been ignoring the live chat. I'm sorry.
If she even sees that you like a comment that someone had put in her comment section that she's about to block, she'll block your ass.
Yeah, that is pathetic. Yep.
She says,
how does she have anyone left?
I've asked the same question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how a single person watches her in good conscience. I have literally said, if you support her, I think you're evil. It's not just complicity.
And she blocked half the internet, or 75%. So I don't know how she has anyone.
I blocked a lot of people too, but you know the people I block, and you know the reasons why. But none of them. It was never because anybody disagreed with me. It's because if you go after me personally, then yeah, I'm going to have an issue with that. Talk about the arguments. Don't sit there and talk about the person. I just find that to be detestable. She said, in my opinion, he and the trolls are some of the most dangerous on YouTube. They harassed. By the way, this includes you and Erin. Okay, and Nikki. They harass, stalk, and attempt to ruin the lives of their targets. Projection, anyone? They seek revenge and have no boundaries that they will cross to hurt me. All I have ever wanted for them to leave me alone. Yet she antagonizes people and makes false and slanderous defamational content about people for her grift and for her channels. And then she says, "Oh, but I'm the victim. Please leave me alone."
Meanwhile, all we have to do is put her own words against her. I'm not lying. No one else is lying. We literally show her own words against herself with the stuff that she says and does. That's not a lie. That's facts.
That's facts.
Yeah, well, pretty soon she's going to be talking about how how Deon harassed her.
Yeah.
And stalked her because he sent her a cease and desist.
Yep.
It's harassment.
Okay, wait a minute here. Didn't Unirock, her flying monkey, say that John Lee Richards threatened his family by sending him a cease and desist and doxed him merely by sending him a cease and desist?
Yep.
Doxed him.
He admitted to the post office that he knew where that mail should go.
Wow.
That's a dox.
Wow.
That's a dox.
Yeah, this is what Deon's up against. And and I will tell him again, anybody who's anywhere near Katie Joy, Unirock, or nonsense on the web 2.0, the unholy trinity, the axis of evil, I can guarantee it, they are dishonest to an extreme.
Very.
She says,
that's what I was saying to him earlier, that if he, he's the one who sent the cease and desist, right? She is going to flip that, and she's going to say, even though she did wrong, she is
She's
going
being
to flip that,
silenced.
and
She's
she's going to be the victim.
She's speaking her truth, and Deon
Yeah.
is now silencing her. That's the narrative's going to be. Watch.
Yeah, so now she's a victim already.
Yep. She says, "Your simping is disturbing. I reject your advances." Okay.
Sorry.
This makes you gag because I can tell you right here and now, not in any possible world would Katie Joy have been somebody who I'd ever hit on. It just not reality.
Oh, you say that every time.
Not reality. Because it just disturbs me.
I've seen your exes. They're pretty.
I did okay back in the day. Yeah,
I've seen photos.
But here's the thing: I've only asked out 2 women since I've been on YouTube. One of which I moved in with. The other one I took on trips, for a couple of years. So yeah, it's not like I go around hitting on people. And she's like, and yet here it is. I'm hitting on Katie Joy. I have all the women that I've had on my channel. I've had porn stars. I've had beautiful women. I have 2 lovely ladies here. Yet Katie Joy was the one I said, hey, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. God, that's just, oh God. She says,
I always laugh. I can't help it.
She said, I gave you a boundary. I called you out. You haven't been falsely accused of shit. Oh, really? I didn't steal your channel. I never said she did. You're a pathetic old man, now ageism, that wants to destroy me because I fucking rejected your gross ass. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay.
Wow.
Did
Todd ever come for you?
Her husband?
If you're hitting on his wife, did he ever say anything or come for you?
Oh, well, do you remember? He's like, yeah, you hit on my wife and I'll make a meme out of you. I was like, dude, you're dating this and I'm dating this. Do you want to really compare? We won't get into details on that, but I was like, come on, dude. I said, you're married to this and I'm dating this. Come on. I mean, I have attractive women. If I'm going to go out with somebody, you know what? And I got to tell you, I will definitely go out with somebody that probably I would not have found attractive 20 years ago if they're intelligent more than anything else, and if they're kind. That means more than me than anything. And trust is the number one factor in everything I'm looking for. But anyways, she says no one on YouTube likes you. I got 2 people here too. Well, Erin at least. Nikki, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you got 2 girls here. You got 83 people in this watching.
I do hope this video gets some views. I did tag a lot of people and say, look, I'm calling in favors because I've helped a lot of people on YouTube. Get this out there.
I shared it as well.
Get this out there. Deon needs to know this stuff. And he knows he has support. And she says, countless women can attest to your disturbing behavior and your threats of my harassment are comically given the fact that you orchestrated takedowns of me. Do you guys remember how many women have said that I sexually harassed them? There's been 2 now.
Not a one.
No, there's been 2. Katie Joy, and do you remember the other one?
No.
Well, actually, there's technically 4. I'm going to be straight. There's 4. So there was Fiona Robertson.
Yeah,
Fiona Robertson, wrap your head around that one. She looks like death warming over. There was somebody named Hillary a long time ago because I made a comment about I would be her lab partner.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Okay, I do remember.
But putting those 2 weird things behind, there's been 2 content creators that for some reason have said that I've literally have sent them emails and sexually harassed them. Katie Joy and Erin, who's the other one? We mentioned her.
What?
Or the Axis of
One
Evil.
starts with an F, right?
No, the Axis of Evil. Who's in the Axis of Evil? The 3 content creators. This was just recently, not too long ago.
I don't remember. The Holy Spackle?
Becky is.
Oh no! Oh yeah, that's
nonsense.
right. That's right. Yeah. Oh,
Nonsense.
I didn't say that you harassed her.
Nonsense said
You're gotta be kidding
We
me.
said that you were creeping in her DMs or something like that, along that line.
No, she said that I hit on her or something. In emails. I've never sent her an email. I've never sent her any messages besides the one that she had said, hey, Steve, if you want to discuss this stuff, reach out to me. And I did the very next day. I said, I heard you want to talk. Let's talk. And she used that one DM for about a year now to say, oh, look, Steve is creeping on me and hitting on me. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Yeah. Grow the fuck up and stop preying on mentally ill women and stop using them as weapons against me. That's referencing Natalie.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
That's referencing Natalie.
So she
used.
target that mentally ill women could just be used so flippantly against you. Like, well, it's not even a challenge.
Yeah, just make it easy. Yeah, it's so funny because who was on a panel with Natalie? Oh, that was Katie Joy. Who manipulated Natalie?
So she did email? Oh, Charlotte said that, I guess.
What?
So KJ did email Deon's lawyer herself,
well,
not her lawyer. She said she did.
How do we know this, and what was it said? I mean, I'm kind
But
of curious.
Katie said that she did.
Did Katie say she did?
Yes. Okay. Where is it? Is this on Twitter or something? Where is this? I gotta see this.
Yeah, I just need a little more information on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I want more information on that. And by the way, here's people talking about the Violence Against Women's Act, which again, stigmatizing, right? If people, and we're like, oh, look, I'm looking up Steve McRae. He has Violence Against Women's Act, which never happened. This guy is an idiot. This guy knows this bullshit, doesn't care. He leaves comments all over the place. Yeah. And he says, here's the situation. Steve McRae served with a restraining order under the Violence Against Women's Act, which was wrong, and he knows it's wrong. He won't apologize or change his blog on it. People contacted the hospital where the sick woman's child is to warn them about her hateful and sick. Thanks for calling out Fiona Robertson, the other one that, started spewing this weird stuff. Who contacted the hospital? Because I had nothing to do with any of that. Nothing. Yeah, here's another person. He went on and got a restraining order against himself for cyberbullying with a Violence Against Women's Act attached to it, which, again, we found out she lied about. I have my lawyer even said that never happened, nor could it happen because I'm not a domestic partner of hers. But here's people believing it. This is what I'm saying to Deon. All she has to do is make a single solitary slanderous, libelous, or defamational remark, even though both those are defamation, and somebody will believe it. And even if they don't, they don't care. They will run with it anyways because these are her flying monkeys that will spread this narrative because that is what they do. They don't care.
Exactly. And then it's out there.
It's not right. Here's Unirock. Steve McRae served with a restraining order under Violence Against Women's Act. He was her biggest mouthpiece. And yes, he'll probably make videos about Deon's lawsuit. My advice from the bottom of my heart is do not ever, ever, ever give him anything. Oh, and then she said, here, the judge added that on his own. No, judge never added anything. Judge never saw anything. But, and last but not least.
I looked into that too. Like, were you talking about the Violence Against Women Act thing, right?
You have to be a domestic partner or a family member.
Well, no, there were some protections that she qualified under this, but that's because she just was granted an RO. Like everyone, for the most part, the title, this. And that's basically just that it's recognized in all 50 states.
Yes, the fair use and clause or whatever it is that means that the RO is recognized in all states, but that is on the form. That's what's called pro forma. It's on there. Judge doesn't add that on a restraining order. It's on. If you go and you download a blank form from Minnesota, fair use and credit is on there. She lied and said the judge specifically put it on there because that's her narcissism.
She is sick.
Did they write the law for her too? I mean,
well, yes, Erin. According to remember your video, they changed how. Nikki, you're got feedback. They changed the laws on how rapes were investigated because of Katie Joy. Remember that?
Yeah. Even though the only changes that were made like I don't know, nowhere near in time frame if anything involving her. But all that was changed was that that instead of the detective being really the one who has the heaviest word on determining whether or not something is prosecuted, it is now like really solely up to the DA. And they're much better at testing their kids. However, her kid still today would not be tested because both parties admit that intercourse occurred. Correct. So why do they need to test it? They're not going to waste the resources and shit when they don't need to. And also, as far as they re-examined her case after the whole shit went me Red in our stream there, Little Red there. They re-examined her case and they still chose not to move forward with it. So
they
changed because of her.
Yeah, they reevaluated her claims and they found no merit to them whatsoever. Yep. Here's something that's interesting. So when Katie Joy had tried to get a TRO on me, and I fought back and I wanted to get a hearing, these are all done on fixed retainers. So there's no money that was needed for her end to go to HRO. She wanted $10,000. By the way, it only cost $2,500 for the HRO. So why would she need $10,000? She wanted $10,000. I swear to God,
greedy.
To help Katie seek justice. She's the victim here. And it says this.
Bullshit.
The last one of the last sentences of that thing just amazes me.
You can by all means read it. And again, this is what Deon has to look forward to, because this is what she does to play the victim.
It's
where
is it?
Right
at the end. She says, I want my family to feel safe. I want to stop the lies, and I want the defaming content removed. That's what it was. She just wanted these things that were said about her to not exist on the internet. She felt entitled to sue someone to get something she doesn't like that's said about her on the internet removed.
100%. That's what she put in the affidavit as well.
It's crazy.
We're verbatim that she wanted content about her removed. Now, again, there's content to be removed that's defamational, and there's content, like, of course, I think Deon absolutely should make sure that she removes not just everything about him that she has said, but about, everybody, period. But yeah, that's what she wanted. She wanted to silence me because I kept records back then. Now, granted, so many people in 4 or 5 years has done so much better in keeping tabs and records and kept up on things. I get that. Llama Girl, especially. Without a crystal ball. So there's a lot of people that I just don't keep up on Katie Joy. They need their contacts with Deon. If they get a hold of him.
Reddit's good too.
The Reddit, go with all that. I'm just giving him the past history that he can, establish a pattern from her, and then other people can take over and give him all the information when she posts things, because they follow her all the time. And this is what happened, like with this whole thing, that there was an article that came out today that was posted somewhere, and immediately, people were sending it to Deon. So this says, hello.
I post videos every day of her.
And I'm so glad
you'll find if you need anything. I've got everything.
I'm so glad that people still keep up on this stuff. And people are like, oh, well, you guys are obsessed.
I do. Every day there's a video I make, because that's how much shit she does.
And it's not a matter of obsession. It's a matter of people want justice. She says, hello.
Exactly.
My name is Katie Joy. I'm a YouTuber public figure and victim of a stalker. Hi, I'm the stalker that nobody seems to know about any longer because she won't even mention my name. An online defamation campaign. That's also you guys, by the way, I guess. Over the past year, my company has been relentlessly targeted, along with my family, for simply having a job online. Oh, no, Katie. That was not the reason people were calling you out, nor did they target you. They basically were exposing you to be a slanderous, immoral, reprehensible demon, basically. These attacks have resulted in cops being called on us. Our neighbors contacted. Threats to call us of CPS. My husband's employers contacted. That's a whole different story right there. My public address being widely shared for malicious purposes. No.
Was she sharing it for malicious purposes when she put it on her business license?
Yeah, she literally had her public information on her limited liability corporation.
Oh yeah.
I successfully obtained a 2-year restraining order. No, she didn't. No, if she did, think about this. This is critical thinking time. If she successfully obtained a 2-year restraining order, why didn't she need $10,000 to fight my HRO to get a hearing? But I still need to go to court. Why? If you successfully obtained a 2-year restraining order, why would you need to go to court? I understand that I'm a public figure, but my safety and my family's safety should not be put at risk over a group's relentless harassment and stalking. We have spent,
get offline and move.
We have spent $10,000 of our own money. Well, so have I. That I only recouped less than half of on attorney's fees, but it won't stop. My attorneys say that it will take months to win, but we can win, but it will take time. I want my reputation restored. You have no reputation, Katie. I want my family to be saved. I want to stop the lies. I want my defaming content removed. Please consider helping. Only if you're moved to do so. Thanks. She got a whole $10 of this.
She's put them in danger. That's the most fucked up thing. She's doing this to her family.
She listed she wanted her reputation restored first.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And then I was like, I was like, what does it have to do with me? I've never called the cops on her. I never asked anybody to call CPS. I've even told people, if you call the CPS on her, you're taking away resources from people that actually need CPS. All you're doing is weaponizing them. And I hate that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Listen, I'm going to jump down though, because it's 2 a.m. here.
Yeah,
I'm exhausted.
I'm wrapping this up too. So
okay. All right. Well, thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Let me just show this real quick before you go.
It was nice seeing you, Erin.
All these people that said I had a VAWA restraining order, including that high guy who's never apologized for that either. He says, you're aware you hate admitting to having DMs with Steve McRae, who had a VAWA restraining order. That high guy has never apologized for that, and he's still around. But anyways, thanks, Erin. I do appreciate everything you do.
Thank you. Bye.
Nice seeing you, Erin.
But look at this, Deon. All these people that I searched and I found these words combinations. Steve McRae, violence against women. Don't you think that would have harmed my reputation? And it did at the time, but of course it came out later that she was lying, and that was not possible. Not a single one of these people had ever produced evidence of this because it's not possible to be put under Violence Against Women's Act when you've never met the woman in real life. Let's see here. Oh, and of course there's Unirock.
He's insufferable too.
And here we go. By the way, it was I'm freaking Rankin is the one that actually put out there saying this is not possible. All Krusty's minions truly believe everyone dislikes her because of Steve McRae, and that's simply false. People actually see her for what she is. Also, the VAWA is to protect intimate partners. What is Krusty's implying by saying that? LOL. She constantly misinforms. And here's about VWA. It was not possible to be put under the VWA. And there's other people like Prolib that was going off on.
You can't do that with people's lives.
This guy called the FBI.
What?
Yeah, I swear to God, he called the FBI. And I finally I asked him once because again I don't talk to any of these people, right? But I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to this one guy and ask him what the hell could you have possibly called the FBI on? Now now that Kyle lied. He's like, oh, I just told them what Kyle told me.
Wow,
that was his words. That's hearsay. You can't call up the FBI and go, oh, this person told me this. Oh, this person's committing fraud.
And they should be held responsible for that shit too.
Nothing happened to them. They got loved by the community. And then, well, not really any longer because once it came out that Kyle was committing fraud on the court, anybody that was supporting him kind of like died out, right? Look at all these people. Look at all there's Zad Creations. Remember them? This is this was Katie Joy's mouthpiece. There's more. There's Menace, one of your favorite person.
Oh fuck! I can't stand that.
Oh, that's another person.
Yeah,
Deon.
watch out for Menace to Sobriety
Absolutely.
on Twitter, and stay the fuck away from him, please.
Yeah,
he literally is a menace.
If I could give the biggest recommendation to Deon to stay away from somebody, it's probably Menace. This dude has how many videos did he do about me? Oh my God, he's
obsessed with you.
2 years this dude made a Twitter account just to harass me for 2 years. That's all he does. He follows me and stalks me and just talks about me constantly. And I've never talked to this gentleman.
He can't even burp, and he has to talk about
I have never had him on panel. I don't talk to him. I haven't talked about him in 2 years. I don't think I even mentioned anything about him in forever.
Right.
And he all he does is talk about me. It's weird.
That's
creepy.
It's obsession.
Anyways, though, I think he probably gets the point, right? But here's his Menace.
Yeah.
Lying. This is an outright lie. And by the way, this guy actually said that he watched Kyle log into his account that he doesn't have to show that the money that he stole from me existed. And they said he watched him do it in front of his lawyer that he didn't have at the time. Oh, no, wait.
Exactly.
Wait, I know he didn't have the lawyer at the time, but I think there was maybe it was after. Okay, I apologize. This was after he actually did get a lawyer because Kyle did lie and say he had a lawyer when he didn't. He got a lawyer, and then Menace said that, oh, the lawyer, myself, and Kyle were in a hangout like this, and I watched him log into his account that he didn't have. And he was in deposition. My lawyer asked him to do it. My lawyer said, will you log into your bank account? Show the money's there. And he said, oh, I'll show my lawyer to do it later. He never showed his lawyer because the account didn't exist, and his lawyer withdrew from the case about 2 days later. So, yeah,
that's who Menace is.
So, yeah, his Menace going, Judge looked at the videos. No, he didn't. Judge didn't see a single video. I swear. Why would a judge look at videos if you haven't gone to trial yet? That's not how any of this works. And social media troll groups. No, the judge didn't look at anything. For the past year, and slapped a restraining order on Steve. Nope, didn't happen. It was a temporary injunction because that's how it works. I can say right now, Nikki is harassing me and get a temporary one. On behalf of Katie, judge filed under the Violence Against Women's Act 2. That was proved false. And of course, all these mouthpieces. But anyways, what else do you want to leave with? Because I know we're getting late, and we might have to do a part 2.
We could do part 2, part 3, part 4. I'm telling you, this girl is giving me content for years. I've already got 2 videos I'm gonna have to do now. I mean, fuck's sake.
Giving you content.
But people need to know. People need to know, so I'm gonna keep going every single day.
Look, take the content.
Until she's gone.
I don't want the content. I'm only doing this because, again, I want the information out there, but I'd rather talk about other subjects. You know that.
Same here. Like my name is Supernatural Crime for a reason. That's what I want to do, not fucking KJ. But she is dangerous. She is definitely committing things that she shouldn't be doing. She needs to be stopped. So I'm gonna keep going. The more content she puts out there, the more lies I'll expose of her. And I hope the hell that people wake up and realize this. You got to check out her other platforms.
And here's our receipts. This is her affidavit. Deon.
Yeah, there's always receipts.
In November 2019, Ms. McCrae claimed I was a danger to the community and called me an extensional. Like I said, extensional. That means something.
Yeah, I know she said.
I guarantee it. I swear to you.
Idiot.
There is no possible way Katie Joy knows what that word extensional means. It's a very complicated term in philosophy and mathematics.
I don't even know.
It's hard to explain. It has to do with set theory. What's called extensional and intentional. And this is how you describe something. And so you can describe something by saying like all 50 states is intentional,
Yeah.
but all extensional would be if you labeled all 50 states. So if I had a set of all 50 states, that's extensional. If I just said all 50 states, that's intentional. And so that's how you would do it in set theory. It also means other things when it comes to philosophy. But she has no idea what these words mean. But anyways,
No, she would never know that.
Existential threat on humanity. He told his patrons he would not stop speaking about me until my career is buried, which I never said. I would have put it past me. Don't get me wrong, but that's not what I said. You know. And here we go. I continue to receive death threats. When did she ever get a death threat? From what?
I'd love to.
Toddy Westbrook. And then she also said that she wanted me to remove my content here. I don't want him to be able to talk about me online anymore.
That's all it was about.
That's all it was about. We're going to leave it there because I think that really sums it up. She does not want the truth coming out. Let me highlight this. And so, Deon, my advice to you is be careful. Simply be careful. Very careful. Don't listen to people without receipts. They're going to say nasty things about you. They're going to say nasty things about me. They're going to say nasty things about Erin. They're going to say nasty things about all of us.
Me.
And Nikki.
Yeah.
They don't really
Everyone that's trying to help you.
They don't bother that much with you, though. Yet.
No, and I think it's because I'm Canadian. I swear. That's the only thing I could think of.
Eventually they might. But, you know.
Yeah.
Let's look at the things that he's going to be looking forward to. Again, people being called harassers. Cyberbullying, rape apologists. That's a go-to. They love calling people rape apologists. That was a big thing. That I'm a rape apologist. And
narcissist. Always, you'll be called that.
Yeah. God forbid you are confident. That's not the same as narcissism. God forbid you're successful. And Deon is successful. I think he does real estate, if I'm not mistaken. Right? He's successful.
I'm not too sure, actually.
If I remember, his real estate, which is a great, awesome thing.
It's a good business.
And so
you can really make some money.
Katie Joy hates anybody who dares is confident enough to speak up and is successful. She loathes that.
Yeah.
And so
I think he is in danger right now, honestly, not to be physically hurt, but there's something brewing. She took down whatever she wrote, she had to take them all down. That is a big no-no with her. She's fucking coming for you. I'm telling you.
I agree.
You need to be very careful.
I agree.
She is coming for you. You basically made her look like a liar.
Well, that's easy. Everybody does that.
She is one.
But she is one. But he has an audience.
But because she had to take that down, you're fucked.
Well,
she's going to do whatever she can, and it's going to be bad.
Let me ask you, though. Katie Joy is not known for following a cease and desist, so why does she take down anything?
I really wish I could answer that.
Now, she wants revenge. If you make her do something, she will retaliate. Respect retaliation.
She's coming for you.
Yeah, she just filed a amended cross complaint with 7M that I haven't got in my hands yet. Once I do, I will read that. But she was going to try to make this as long and difficult as possible. Don't let it happen. Don't give her ammo. Don't say anything about the case publicly. Don't trust anybody. Don't do
Never
anything.
Speak to her.
Don't speak to her. Don't speak to Unirock. Don't speak to anybody that you do not have look, we have the evidence, but they will not ever provide you evidence. They'll say this, and this. You say, okay, show me what you've got. They will produce bump kiss, or it'll be altered or just strange. And you'll be able to be like, what does this have to do with anything? Because they will go after anybody telling you anything. I've seen it happen with the Unirock's case. Who was it? okay, so Jonathan Lee Richards is suing him, right? And
Yeah.
and there was a narrative out there that that Unirock had put his channel in his dad's name. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah. So that kind of information needs to be vetted if that's the case.
Yeah.
You know, there was a narrative that Katie Joy's house is in her dad's name. Well, we looked at the
that wasn't true.
No, it wasn't true. We looked at the public records
The records or whatever.
This was actually Todd Chrisley's lawyer and his team. They looked at all this stuff. I saw all of it. Other people looked into it, and yeah, apparently it still is in her name, not her father's, from the county tax.
Oh, and her LLC
assessment.
is back up.
Yeah.
She renewed it.
Yeah, I heard that too. But my lawyers told me she doesn't have.
Did that a couple days ago.
She doesn't have business insurance, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Dragon says do a part 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do more. Look, I'm going to keep up on this. I know my.
Well, here's what she's saying, because she had to delete all of that stuff about Deon. This is what she said, and I remember, and I did read this. She said that someone asked her, "Why did you delete everything?" Then she says, "Oh, the story's moving in a new direction."
I remember
someone
that.
else asked her,
I
"Where's
saw
all
that.
the stuff about Deon?" She's like, "Oh, stay tuned," with a heart. I remember that. I seen it.
Yeah, how messed up is that?
Yeah. You can't admit that you're wrong, and you can't admit that you fucked up and that you had to delete it because of a cease and desist, which the whole world's going to know now. You're going to say it because it's going in a different direction. Yeah, a direction of your ass getting sued is my hope.
Yeah, she's probably going to, well, before she would probably have said, oh, look, they're not going to follow through with this. Because remember she said, oh, Todd Chrisley is not going to sue me. 7M's not going to sue me. They both did. So I don't think that's I don't think she's going to go that route this particular time. I think she's going to say, like,
I'm thinking maybe she knows that this guy's not messing around. She said some pretty serious shit.
Look, he has not only every right, I think he almost has a moral obligation to himself and his family to go after her for the stuff she said is so beyond my ability to comprehend. That's why she would say such things. And I do want I do want him to go to the end. I want him to go all the way to a jury or to a judge, just so it can be proven in a court of law that this woman is a defaming, slanderous, narcissistic, evil person, and have her content removed in accordance to it. And so that way she cannot have the ability to harm anybody else in the future. Yes, I do want that. Absolutely. And that's what I wanted from my lawsuit.
That's what needs to happen. Because she will never stop until she's made to stop.
Yep. So
somebody's going to get hurt.
Deon, you know, if you do get a chance to watch this, because I know he does watch some of this stuff, and you know, we talked to him on Twitter and stuff. I just, my heart goes out to you and your family, man. You don't deserve any of this.
No, he doesn't.
You just happen to run into the worst, most despicable person on YouTube who goes out of the way to cause harm to people when she sees happy, loving families. And his family looks amazing. Yeah. They look like they're really enjoying what they do.
Yeah.
And she has a very miserable family. She's miserable in life. She's miserable herself. She hates herself. And she wants to take that out on as many people as possible and get off on the statistical things that she says about people, knowing that they cause harm. So anyways, Nikki, I'm going to let you have the last word because I know I've talked a lot. I had a lot to say. There's so much more. This is not by any means.
This is just the beginning.
This is more we can talk about when it comes to Katie Joy. I mean, we didn't get into the Mika Stouffer stuff. We didn't get into we didn't even get to a lot of the Toddy stuff, all the stuff she did to them, even Preacher Boy, LB, PX Peace Boy.
She's done so much.
She's talking to Dustin Daly again.
Yeah, she apparently said something on there that Deon won't sue her.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I saw that. I saw that as well too. And now that I think about it,
yeah, Zuna just said that, or wait, Maya said that.
I'm wrong.
That she already made a comment saying Deon won't sue her.
I'm wrong. I admit when I'm wrong. Remember, I said that she said that Todd won't sue her, 7M won't sue her, and I said I don't think she's going to go this route. I'm wrong. Sorry, she already went this route. I forgot.
Like I honestly almost can't believe it because she took all that stuff down, but yet she's going to sue her.
She did tell Dustin.
Like it doesn't. Fuck.
She did tell Dustin Daly that. That I saw that. Now that I think about it, I was like, "Oh crap!"
He doesn't even like her, so I don't know how the hell she did that. Like, I'm surprised she's not blocked.
Yeah, I don't know either. There's also Jeffree Star. She accused Jeffree Star of stalking her.
James Charles.
James Charles. What's the Swedish woman? Olaf something. Her name's really hard, but she has a big YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is her modus operandi: abuse by proxy.
Yeah.
Projection. And strap yourself in, man. But like I said, you've got a lot of support. All of us will be keeping tabs on anything she says. She dirty deletes in a matter of seconds. She edits and changes and deletes, but people watch her all the time. And you might find that to be odd.
We always get the shots.
You know what's funny is normally I'd go, man, that is really odd. That is creepy. But at the same token, this is the kind of person you have to do that. You have to, because she harms people. So
exactly.
All right, Nikki,
if you are watching any channel or anything, like make sure you look at their subject matter, and if they have stuff on on Katie Joy and this kind of creator saying like be careful, watch out for this, and there's a lot of us out there. Those are the people you talk to.
Yeah,
that's the only people I would trust, or like Steve,
and
me,
I appreciate that.
Renelle, all of us.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, there's the people that actually know him that have kind of already vetted me, even though he can go find my name on YouTube and say, oh, look, Steve harassed Katie Joy and was on the Violence Against Women's Act, but now he knows that's all BS and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But
there's a lot of us out there, even on Twitter. You got Llama Girl, you got Balls 2.0, you got Country Girl Brenda even. There's so many out there. All you have to do is punch in
Mia Nova.
Without a Crystal Ball, WOACB on YouTube, and you will find all of us.
I can basically say anybody in my live chat that I've noticed, every one of them has been supporters. There's been not a single troll in here tonight. Have you noticed that? Now a lot of them are blocked. A lot of them are blocked. Don't get me wrong, but they make fake accounts. Peter Harrington, thank you for all you do. So there is a lot of people. Just if you have any questions on a specific content creator, where if you're not sure if they're trustworthy or not, you can ask me, you can ask Nikki, you can ask EKC. I will give you my unbiased opinion.
Content out.
Yeah,
you'll know.
You'll know. Yeah, you'll know. You know in a heartbeat. But
you'll know by their content. You'll know by mine. I've got a lot of videos.
You do, but at least yours are easily digestible. They don't go on for 3 hours.
Yeah, they're not long. They're like 10 minutes, whatever.
This is the longest one I've done in a while, and I'm already tired. So
it needed to be done, though.
It needed to be done. Matter of fact, and I will admit, I postponed non sequitur just to do this. I was going to do a non sequitur review of Alex O'Connor's debate with my friend Jonathan McLatchie. I like Dr. Jonathan McLatchie a lot. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. But I think that, Alex O'Connor makes some very good points in a debate, and I wanted to go over it, and a non sequitur show. And I was like, oh man, you know what? I think this is more important. I got to get stuff done for this and contact some people and got to get up to date a little more. Because again, I don't know anything about this show, and I feel like I'm an outsider, but at the same token, I don't need to know anything about the show. I know I can watch people and see if they look like a decent, happy family, and then compare to what Katie has said and know she's lying. So I
totally agree.
Nikki, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you guys in the live chat.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for becoming members of the channel. If you want to support the channel, become a member, join. I will, read out any super thanks afterwards. If you comment on the video and leave a donation, I always read that out the next time. Every little bit helps. I've been using it for alcohol and food mostly, to be honest with you. I've been going out, treating myself, because I don't normally do that, but I've just gone out and said, you know what, I'm going to have a nice dinner. I'm going to you know what, maybe I will get this bottle of scotch or something, So yeah, it's always going to, but at least I'm upfront with it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this. Please share this video. Please like and subscribe. If you want to talk in the live chat, I do have it set for subscribers only. And I will be in the future to eliminate those kinds of trolls. But I really do appreciate all you guys' support. And thank you, Deon, very much for going after Katie Joy and holding her accountable.
Yeah, thank you.
We really cannot tell you how much it means to us to have justice done. And yes, the 7M does have a very strong case, but if you can get it under the wire and you can get fast-tracked, because their case may drag out for a long time. Yours, I think, could be fast-tracked if you just don't talk about it, don't give her ammo, and don't make anything public. Besides, obviously, the lawsuit. I want to read the lawsuit on air. So, all right, good night, guys. Thanks very much, and we will see you later.
Bye, guys.
To the sound. the sound.